Let's break it down. The broken baker's coming to town. From Denmark with love, watching courts go wild. American drama got me hooked like a child. Twists in the courtroom, objections all day. Live on the screen, come and join the fray. Step one, grab your coffee, settle in tight. Step two, laugh at the chaos left and right. Step three, Danish take on the law so crazy. Step four, hit subscribe, don't be lazy. Oh yeah! He's the broken baker, breaking down cases, real truth shaker. Witty and fun from across the sea. The broken baker set my free. Hey, hey, broken baker, Danish style so smooth. Legal madness in the groove. Yeah, join the live today. The broken baker's here to slay. High profile trials, witnesses spin. Alibis cracking, let the fun begin. Outside of you with a humorous twist. True crime fans, you don't wanna miss. Even when it's broken, we find the fun. Danish baker baking truth for everyone. The broken baker, yeah. Hit that bell, let's go
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what if any you might be, and welcome to this presentation that is kind of a little bit of maybe a conundrum presentation. Thank you, Cossie's New Kicks, for becoming a new member of the channel. Because I was watching along yesterday and I've been watching along this morning. They were doing jury instructions this morning. Judge A got pissed at both sides because they are unprepared, especially this idiot. He doesn't know anything about what he has turned in or what they're talking about. And he was going to call his expert to find out if he could remote in. He hadn't even thought about that because she's in Memphis and needed to get, or he's in Memphis, whatever. And she said, can't you just have him remote in? And he went out to make a call. And this is what this is about.
To talk to your
I
witness?
talked to him, Judge.
Okay.
I was waiting to find out some specifications because he asked me those questions, which,
All we need is his email, and then Shannon can send him a link, and we just need to know what time, or if he's going to be prepared for whenever, we can send him the link right away.
I told him as soon as I had some sense of timing that I would let him know, and he'd say.
And that's up to you, whenever you
Yeah.
want to do it, but we can send the link to him now.
Okay.
Do you want to give the email to?
I can definitely do that, Judge. Is it possible? I told him I would give him a call back to confirm that.
Sure. Do
Can
you
I
want to do
just
it right
step
now?
outside
Yeah, just
and-
step outside.
Okay.
Right now, that's fine. Well, I'd rather get that done to make sure we can get him taken care of.
Hello, Casimir. So I was watching handball yesterday and I was keeping this on the back burner. I checked in every time we played like shit. He went another 4 hours yesterday afternoon, had 3 witnesses. His only line of questioning is, did you close your eyes and not look at anything else? And all of them said, no. Did you force someone to change his opinion? Everyone said no. Didn't you feel you were allowed to have your opinion? Everyone said no. So it's 4 hours of wasted time again. He then said that he has 2-3 more witnesses, and it'll probably last all day again today. And then this morning he said, well, I have an expert that comes in Monday. Good luck with that. So my conundrum is a little bit like it was yesterday. It's excruciating painful to just sit here and do nothing for 4 hours. The defendant might testify. That's a thing. That could mean interesting cross-examination. I don't think that direct will be very entertaining, other than them trying to say it was that bitch who did all of it. So I'm a little bit, because I've been really annoyed about how the defense is wasting time, and if you could tell, Judge Ascarati was just as annoyed this morning with both sides, because they had been informed 2 days ago that they were having the jury instructions conference this morning, and first he hadn't gotten anything ready, and then he hadn't turned it over, and then he had, and then they were talking the two sides together, and then the state was, well, we can't fix this in 2 minutes. And she said, well, I don't care. You had 2 days. You better figure it out. We're doing it now. And it ended up being kind of like, yeah, we're going to do this and do that, but we can't really until we figure out what the defense is going to do. So it's really effing annoying what's going on in this case. So I'm a little kind of like yesterday. It's a long thing to do nothing. No, the people who said that he was winning the case when the state was ending are now saying, what the hell? Everything moves like in molasses. We don't know what's going on. I want one of those digital clocks. Be a real YouTuber. Celeste, I'll have Baker
We'll go ahead and
over
send
here tomorrow.
your witness the link now.
Yes.
And then whenever you're ready for him, if you could give us a little heads up beforehand so we can get
Yes.
everything set up.
I'm thinking
in the courtroom.
if
We
it's
might take
just
a
going to
break
go
right
back
before
and be
that.
another
Also,
officer that he's going to
Shannon's
testify,
gonna
I'm
ask
going to
IT
do my
to be in the
unboxing.
courtroom at that time with the help of the remote witness. I know you have been professed as a technology guy, at least self-professed as a technology guy, but I would feel more comfortable if IT was in the courtroom to assist you with any
Yes.
matters with the remote witness.
I 100% agree, Judge.
Okay, good. All right. Are we ready for the jury?
Yes.
Okay. Detective Miller, if you want to come back to the stand.
Robin Rowe, you were over on Catnut Williams yesterday. They are very, 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 very pro-defense in every case, because they have watched some horrible cases out of Georgia. And I think that has a bearing on how people in a chat will see stuff. Oh, by the way, we had like 2 hours of Charlie Brown's teacher yesterday, a lady who kept yelling into the mic, and they had the mic sensitivity set to 100. So, yeah. What do you call a wizard who's good with ceramics? Harry Potter. Why Harry? Oh, Harry Pottery. Oh. Good morning, anime, over on the Rumble side, and the other people over there. Glad that you are joining us today's. Cookie Corellian thought that they were being blocked by something, and I said, no, Sue doesn't have the power to block people. So if you see them, please make sure to say hi. And Eileen is also one of the people who don't think, who can't be seen.
Yes, sir.
It's annoying.
Good morning, Detective Miller.
Good morning, sir.
We finished off yesterday, and we had talked about a couple of issues, and I wanted to raise those again with you. Now, when you testified yesterday, do you remember the screenshots that were shown to you?
I remember seeing screenshots, yes.
Okay. And the screenshots were relating, I think you'd called them images, correct? I'm talking specifically about the portable case information.
A portable case is not an image.
But you had referred to it as an image, because we sent you pictures.
I don't believe I referred to it as an image.
Aaron, may we approach the bench for a second?
So that lasted 2 minutes before they had this first sidebar because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, at least we're inside, not outside in the rain. Cat Randall, we don't know if it's going to be today, but he said he's going to take the stand.
Sir, did you image or acquire all of the devices in this investigation?
Data was acquired from all the devices in this, yes, by
And
me.
did you acquire that data?
Yes, I did the acquisitions for these devices.
And did you acquire the images and all the data that came from these devices in a forensically sound manner consistent with your training and best practices?
Yes,
Did you process the extracted data using forensically approved and verified tools?
yes,
This is the same data you produced to detectives and supervisors during this investigation, correct?
the data provided for discovery would have been the same that I provided to the detectives, yes.
Okay. So, and these were produced from the devices you acquired and they were turned over in discovery as required, correct?
Yes,
There are 4.
Jemima, why are you asking? You have seen 3 days of his questionnaire. I like that he, after he had this guy on the stand for, I think, 2.5 hours yesterday, got nowhere with him, is now talking about if he followed procedure. Maybe that's the first question you ask him. Celestial Force says nothing. Thank you, Celestial. Yeah, he's going to talk about catfishing and who had he keeps talking about who was using the accounts. And he said, I don't know. There's no way. There's some times where you could say, okay, he wasn't at the house. We know that, so he couldn't be using it. But other than that, we don't know because there's no way, unless you were sitting next to them, to know who the hell is using it. So when you match this with this and that, I can't.
I'm going to show you 4 open magnet portable case files with the court's permission on a laptop for you to be able to review. Can you please confirm that these productions you made for the respective devices? Christine Banfield's laptop, Christine Banfield's cell phone, Juliana Peres Magalhães' cell phone, and Brendan Banfield.
Let's have a little fun while we can speed it up. What famous person do you see in this photo? Oh shit. It's a person who are also in our chat. You might need to be a little older. Yeah, you got it. Michelle, don't go to Massachusetts because I know there's a snowstorm coming and snowstorm parties in Massachusetts. Ain't no party like a snowstorm party. I don't have a soundboard. I can't do that. Hey, Fedorowski. And Alfie isn't even in chat to see herself on screen. Get over there.
It's personal cell phone, and I'll show you this so you can make that determination. Aaron, may I?
This is fine.
Hey, Boosh. Snowmageddon 2026.
Okay, could you show what you're going to
Yeah.
show to Ms. Ann?
Well, he said he was going to testify, but we don't know when. And time management with this guy is, yeah, if he says today, it'll probably be 2 weeks down the road. I think Melmac is a she. She has a she on her avatar. Okay, good to know, Michelle. I just, you know those parties in Massachusetts. Apparently, who is it who's fond of grabbing Lindsay Catani's ass? Not that she has much of an ass in the pictures I've seen. Yes, but it's also a wonderful person in our chat. Queen of Hearts. That's Natty Neidhart's name in wrestling. Queen of Hearts. La, 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 la. Oh, it's Nicole Albert. She likes to clean and grab ass. Da 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 da. It's your own witness. Der er altid given up for dig. Given up for dig. Og det svækker helt under. Given up.
Right, sir.
Alle fyre har noget smart at sige.
So I'm going to show you.
You have these microphones on.
Sir, I'm going to show you some items, magnet portable cases, for 4 separate extractions. And you're welcome to look and confirm for yourself. Take your time. There are 4 separate files down here. So if you'd like, you can make sure that you're certain as to what it is you're looking at.
Den er mig for dig. Så giv den op, sugar, giv den op, Og hun er fuldt udbløs. Det kan ses på hendes fuldmånefjes. Så kommer øjnene til af kunstig lag. Og knusler champagne pæs. Hey, Panella. Massachusetts parties. Funny. Yeah, there's a lot of swings and roundabouts, apparently.
I recognize them.
Okay. And starting with the first one, you tell me what you're on, and we'll go either left or right, depending on it.
I'm on the furthest one on the left, which is titled Christine Lenovo Reparse.
Okay. And what device would that be for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
That was the Lenovo laptop.
Okay. And that was Christine's known laptop?
That was the device identified that she used, yes.
Okay. And did you have an opportunity to look at this is a portable case, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And this is the portable case that you provided in discovery to the defense or to the Commonwealth, and then they provided it to us?
yes.
Okay. And
Oh, Empire, what do you call a cheap circumcision? A ripoff. Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
this is what you provided to anyone else who wanted access to it, such as Detective Bryant and Lieutenant.
Yes, everyone say hey to Cookie. She is back all the way from Finlandia by ways of the interwebs. We are now hanging back out with the cookie. And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Giacchio.
Yes, this was provided for everybody for review.
Was the data that was provided in with regard to the laptop, was that the data that Lieutenant Giacchio was reviewing?
I would imagine, but I can't speak to what he was reviewing at any given moment if I'm not there.
And so when you were talking with him, was it ever discussed as to what it is that he reviewed?
There were many conversations. As far as any particular item out of any one of those conversations, it's hard to pick out, but this would have been one of the things worked off of to discuss the items.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one.
What?
I believe in order it would be Christine Banfield's
the
phone.
Northern Lights.
Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And same questions. This is a portable case based upon your work extracting from Christine Banfield's phone.
yes.
And did you have enough time to look through that and make sure that that's accurate as to what your work product was?
As best I can in a short period of time. I can't go through every item.
Actually, to tell you the truth, if you need to go through every item in order to be able to say that's what you were working on, we'll have you do that.
I mean, this appears to be the portable case generated by me, which would have been provided.
Okay. And that's the item that, or the data that comes from that, or what you provided to the Commonwealth to provide to Discovery in our, for the defendants.
Yes,
Okay. And was that, if you know, was that Discovery provided to Juliana Peres Magalhães' lawyer?
I don't know personally what was
Wait,
provided
wait,
in Discovery
there's
to
me.
her attorney.
Is it fair to, well, when did you provide that to the Commonwealth?
I provided everything to the detectives, and then that was subsequently provided to the Commonwealth.
And when was the time frame for that?
For speculation?
Overruled, if you can answer.
I would imagine it would be prior to a discovery order.
Okay, I'm just trying to get a timeline. How long did it take for you, if you can tell from your work product, to arrive at that data?
My Swedish isn't the best, but fika. Why do I think that means something else? Or maybe it means what you think, what I think it means, and then, oh my, it's Friday. Oh my.
Compilation.
I mean, I can tell that it was scanned in on February 3rd,
February 3rd of what day?
2023.
2023. Are you certain of that?
So when I'm looking at the case processing details on this page, I can see that that phone was scanned in by me into Magnet on 3/3/2023.
Oh, 3/3, okay, sorry. March
I'm sorry.
2nd. Okay, that makes sense.
I misspoke.
Let's go on to, and I'm sorry, let me just finish up those questions on Christine Banfield's phone. Was the data that was recovered from your extraction, was that the data that was also provided to the lead homicide detective at the time, Kyle Bryant?
Yes, everything I had was provided.
Okay. And was that also provided to whoever else was interested in digital forensics, like Lieutenant Giacchio?
I would imagine anybody who needed to review it, it would be accessible.
Okay. And did you know that, or was there any sort of protection as to that data in terms of the investigation?
As in, was the portable case password protected? Is that what you're asking?
I'm asking, was the portable case open to every police officer in the police department, or was it open to people specifically with regard to this case, or is it even smaller people that were involved in the case but and only needed to see it? Do you know how it was restricted?
I would imagine whoever needed to look at it would be able to, based on what was provided to detectives.
Okay.
Judge, I am going to object to the speculation if he's imagining he doesn't
All right,
know.
sustain as to speculation.
Now, sir, let's move on to the third portable case that you created. Do you identify that?
It is titled Nanny Phone.
Okay. Would that be a title that you gave to that document in that portable case?
Yes,
Okay, so you remember doing that?
yes.
Okay. And same questions. The data that was extracted from that, was that what you provided to Detective Bryant as part of this homicide case?
Yes.
And was that what you provided to or gave access to? And I'm not going to try to pin you down on who or what, but it sounds like it was available to anybody who wanted to look at it.
Yeah, that would be, once I pass it on, I can't speak to who else would have looked at it and when.
Okay, that's fine. And that was also, I think I may have said this, that was included in discovery or to Detective Bryant, who would have given it to the Commonwealth for discovery, correct?
I would imagine so, yes.
Okay. Now, and just to be consistent, this would be what Detective Bryant could have looked?
No, Cookie, don't go back to any beginning. Don't go back to anything. It's a waste of time. Just stay with us. Stay with us for your own sanity.
At, and Lieutenant Giacchio could have looked at.
Judge, objection asked and answered. He indicated he gave it to Kyle Bryant. From that point forward, it's accessible. He doesn't know who else saw
Asked and
it.
answered is all I need. Thank you. I'll sustain the
Oh, så
objection.
hygge.
Fine, if it's asked and answered, that's fine, Judge. Can we move on to the fourth item that you're looking at there?
Yes.
And what is that?
It's a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra.
And who is the
I believe
owner
so,
of
yes.
that?
Let me look real quick. I believe this is Brendan Banfield's phone.
Okay. And same questions. You extracted data, and this is the source of that data, correct?
This was what was provided to the detectives, yes.
Okay. And describe what a portable case is for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
A portable case is a report that is generated through a forensic tool called Magnet Axiom. It is a way for the information that is in Axiom to be put into a readable format, similar to Axiom, but not quite as robust. But it's in a format that someone would be able to navigate in a more user-friendly method.
And once you do your extractions, is this the format that you would rely upon in answering questions that may come up, things like that?
I think that would depend. If there are certain things that are better able to be seen in Axiom itself versus in a portable case, but again, the data is in here.
Okay. Would you utilize that as a resource if you needed to know something about the data that was in there?
Yes, I would use this to search for information.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd move the first file, which would be named 120, Defense Exhibit 120, which would be the portable case for Christine Banfield's Lenovo laptop.
All right, any objection?
Judge's counsel going to be able to share that with the jury?
You're not publishing it this time, just into evidence, is that correct?
Yes.
Any objection?
Can we approach?
Okay.
And we're live, so we can't even move on. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum, bum, bum. Ba-ba-ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na.
All right, 120 in evidence.
Sir, moving on to Christine Banfield's phone, which would be the second file that we reviewed. Your Honor, we'd move into evidence as exhibit number 121.
All right, any objection?
No, ma'am.
One,
Sir, the third portable case that we've just discussed is named Nanny Phone, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, we would move that into evidence
any objection?
pursuant to
No objection.
as Defense Exhibit 122.
122 in evidence.
And sir, the last file, which you've identified as Brendan Banfield's phone, Your Honor, we'd move that in as Defense Exhibit 123.
Any
No objection.
123 in evidence.
Yeah, nothing's happening. Nothing is happening.
Court's indulgence.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I don't have any further questions for Detective Miller.
Cross-examination?
No, ma'am. Thank
All
you.
right. I hesitate to ask if he's subject to recall.
Potentially subject to recall,
Okay.
Judge.
All right, sir, since you are subject to recall, just do not discuss your testimony with anybody at this time, okay?
Yes, Your
All right,
Honor.
thank you, sir. All right, your next witness.
Your Honor, I'd recall Harry Lidsky.
Okay, can you retrieve his laptop, too? Thank you.
Can we leave that there, Judge?
Oh, you need that? Oh, never
Yeah.
mind. Sorry. All right, he's already been sworn. All right.
So let's call another one back that we have had on
Sir,
the
just a
stand
reminder that you're
already.
still under oath, okay? Of course. All right, thank you.
Oh, this is the swarmy tech guy with the big ears. Dumbo has entered the chat.
Sir, calling your attention to what has been moved into evidence as Defense Exhibit 120, 121, 122, and 123. Are you familiar with those exhibits?
I am.
And have you had an opportunity to review those exhibits?
I have.
And state to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what did you do in your review as a digital forensic examiner?
Well, as Detective Miller indicated, these portable cases facilitate everybody to visualize the data from the respective devices, ourselves included. We use these, and we're able to look at both user accessible files, like what you would see on your phone, and we're also able to see the data behind the data frequently, which can be informative depending on the nature of the investigation.
And do you understand these items to be verified data extractions performed by Detective Miller using appropriate tools and best practices?
I do. I've reviewed his reports and came to the conclusion that he did everything exactly the way he should have and the way he was trained to do it, using the tools that are approved by the industry and accepted by the courts.
And do these items, specifically the exhibits, provide us an opportunity to review the raw data extracted from their respective devices in a forensically sound manner?
They do. So the nature of the case, in addition to giving us visibility, bless you, into all of the data on the device, we can't alter anything, and that's what makes it forensically sound. That's what the term, how the term is defined. So anyone using this can't add anything. We can't delete anything. We can't change anything. If there was a virus on the device, it stays sandboxed within the case. It does not spread to our computers. So it's helpful in a lot of ways.
And so is this considered a safe environment in the world of digital forensics?
It is, and that's the nature, the forensic and forensically sound. It prevents, it's not like blood evidence, but it prevents cross-contamination so that what's on here is on here exactly the way it was when the device was either imaged or acquired when Detective Miller did it back contemporaneous to the event back in 2023.
Based upon your review of this data, were you able to draw any opinions related to this case?
I was.
And what were those opinions?
That catfishing did not occur.
And did you produce any demonstratives that you can display to help walk us through your findings?
I have.
Zach says, wow, Kurt the uncivil slob looks better than usual. This is a Dumbo. So let's hear why it's not catfishing. And then let's get that out of there because that's not important at all. Let's get back to the murder and then just say goodbye. Well, my chat isn't different than his school life. Way behind. La, da, da, da. What is Moby Dick's dad's name? Papa Boner. Papa Boner. That makes no sense.
Karen, can you display to counsel and the witness?
There's nothing on the screen at the moment.
I'm connecting.
There you go. Well, I have your screensaver.
It's every fucking time you try to share something.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, I summarized yesterday. Nothing happened. He asked the same questions over and over. He got asked and answered. He got outside of the scope. He got speculation. And the defense is testifying. That's what the 4 hours was yesterday. Hey Joe, way Joe, Joy, Joyce, my joy, Joy, my.
Sir, the items that we're about to show relating to your findings, the digital forensics have been identified in the stipulation documents, correct?
Yes, you
They
have
have.
this a-hole. Follow the Discord or the twat.
And did that include Brendan Banfield's phone
Yes, it did.
and Christine Banfield's phone
Yes.
and the laptop?
Christine's laptop, yes.
Juliana Peres Magalhães' phone?
Yes, among other devices, but these are the 4 central ones I reviewed.
Social media records from Google, FetLife, Facebook, among others?
Among others, yes.
Video from surveillance?
Yes.
Judge, objection leading.
All right, status leading.
What, if any, items were related to surveillance?
There was some video surveillance. There was electronic and physical surveillance involved in this investigation. That's all that comes to mind with regard to surveillance.
Did you rely on any interviews?
I was made available to the entire investigation. That included videotaped interviews of the co-defendant, Ms. Magalhães, both transcripts of interviews that she conducted with the police, with the Fairfax County Police, interviews of
10 months with Emspire. What do you call a cold dog? A chili dog. Amber, it's let's see how it goes, because yesterday I had to check out. Thank you, Emspire.
witnesses, as I think Detective Smith testified to yesterday, the neighborhood canvases, notes, things like that. I've reviewed everything in this case.
Okay. I'm going to show you a slide. And Your Honor, we're just trying to determine what our previous number was for it.
If you show it to me first, then
Yes.
I'll let you know. Let me see.
Hey, Slidey Boy.
All right, I have it as 86.
86. And I believe 86 was...
It's not in evidence.
Not in evidence. Sir, can you identify...
Is it a different number?
this-
Sorry, just hold on.
Judge, sorry, I'm scrolling back to 86. I was under the impression this was likely
Okay.
110.
This is your first slide after
After
the
the
titles page?
title page,
This is the first one
Okay.
you have.
first one.
And that's the first one you started with him?
No, this is
when
a
he was
private
originally on the
expert.
stand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your Honor, if I may?
Yes, sir. Is it-
It's changed a little. This is
Okay.
technically
So it
new.
is different,
It is
okay.
different, yes.
All right.
Well, then,
Okay,
Will-
so.
apologies.
Okay, so this was not the first one that you had seen?
It's
The second or third?
it's a change of the first. It eliminates the
So this is not
party
85
number.
at all, so if you want to give us a new
Let's-
number.
I think it's new.
124, Judge?
Let's give this a new number, then.
So this, Your Honor, we identify this as Defense Exhibit 124.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, do you see the slide here?
I do.
And what does it reflect?
This is a Facebook message sent by Christine Banfield.
And what, if anything, did you
Let's at least
look
see it.
at to determine this slide?
Even though it's a Facebook message, this was recovered from her mobile phone. So a lot of the data on our phones can occur in multiple places, right? So our email is on our phone, but it's also on the server of our respective email provider. This is a Facebook message. It likely is or was on the Facebook server, but this particular message came from her phone.
And was the phone one of the things that,
Reading all day.
the portable case that was moved into evidence through Detective Miller?
It was. I believe this was 122.
Okay. Your Honor, I move Exhibit 124 into
Any
evidence.
objection?
Objection hearsay.
All right, hearsay?
Sir, Your Honor, I believe this is an artifact of the portable case,
You've
which,
got past the foundation, I agree with you, but now that we're past that hurdle, the next hurdle is hearsay.
And Your Honor, I think this is an artifact, and it's for whatever it is part of the portable
I'll
case.
sustain the objection to hearsay.
So, the things that he tried to get in 2 days ago that was hearsay, that he had to lay foundation for, is still hearsay. Yeah.
Sir, can you look at what would be marked as Exhibit 125?
That's in evidence.
Yes.
Oh, hold on a second. That's already in evidence. Okay, so
This particular,
I think that is in evidence as 110.
If you were listening yesterday, you could clearly tell that she believes that he has gone way too far with just asking stupid questions to witnesses who hasn't brought anything to the case other than, yeah, we followed procedure. I wasn't pressured to do anything. No, we didn't bungle the investigation. And the guy who started today was on the stand for like 2 hours yesterday as well. And that was the second time he was back. And now he's talking about calling him back maybe a third time. This guy, if he makes a lunch order, he will die of starvation.
So I have it as 109, and then yesterday he clarified for the record, these as 109.
I'm sorry, I can't.
She said
Okay,
this was clarified as 110.
110, that's what I have it as well, 110. 110 in evidence. Yes, so it's already in evidence as 110.
sir, what is this artifact? Or can you explain what this is?
This is a calendar entry, a saved calendar event from Christine Banfield's mobile device or phone.
Okay, and is there anything notable in that artifact?
Why were you in the
The
country?
date,
Oh, you don't want to
Okay,
maybe by
and
September.
any other aspects of the calendar entry?
it's what you'd expect, I think, from a calendar entry. It's a date and time. It was on Mrs. Banfield's phone, and the Gmail account associated with it was one that I believe was hers, attributable to her.
Your Honor, I believe that was admitted as
It
Exhibit
is, and it's already
110.
being displayed to the jury.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else about that particular artifact, Mr. Litsky?
Was an estimate for 10 a.m. for Windows. I could talk about why I think that might be informative.
Why would that be informative?
Objection, Judge. Calls for facts not in evidence.
Overruled, I'll allow it.
Well, from the information I reviewed in the case and the testimony this week and last, the window replacement was a topic at the window replacement at the Banfield house was a topic discussed. I think this reveals that the window replacement project was, number one, dates back to 2021, far earlier than.
Objection calls for speculation.
Yeah, pure speculation.
This particular document just says estimate 10 a.m. windows. We don't know if they had other window replacement projects.
I'll sustain the objection.
So in 2021, Christine Banfield was scheduling a window estimate at 10 a.m.
Okay.
If Kat gets to the courtroom, she's probably gone now because she said she was going to go over there and look. I want to know, what is the jury sitting in? Because some courtrooms, we know that from the Karen Reed trial, they will have wooden benches still. Some courtrooms will have upgraded to like office chairs. But imagine sitting, listening to this, going nowhere, getting objected against, getting overturned every fucking other question. And it's not evidentiary value to the case at all. And you're sitting on what's essentially a church pew. I would be rioting by now.
Sir, I think this might be 111, Judge?
I don't think this, 112.
112.
Thank you, Sylvia.
The one who,
He owes
the
you
female,
something at the end of this.
yeah.
All right, 112. And it's not in evidence.
Sir, do you identify this?
Oh, and this one they do have.
Slide.
It. Okay.
No, Judge, this was previously offered and denied.
It's not in evidence.
Correct.
Right.
So,
It was previously offered. We'll see what happens. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Sir, can you identify this?
Oh, Kat is there.
Yes, these are messages sent by Christine
Kat will be the official Broken Baker court reporter on the scene today. No, he just came back. He got thrown off the other 2 days ago.
Banfield from her device, excluding any other party.
And what is notable within these messages?
Their discussions about having the windows
Judge,
replaced.
objection, he's testifying to the subject matter.
All right,
It's hearsay. It's
Sustain the
denied.
objection.
What about the date and time?
These are from June 28th, 2022.
Sorry.
You just changed.
I know,
things.
sorry. My big fingers.
There you go.
Sorry, did you see that before my fingers caused it to go?
Yes, these are from mid-2022, late June.
And sir, do you see the item on the screen?
I do.
Okay, and what is this?
More messages from Christine Banfield.
Objection as to the hearsay. He cannot testify to what's in the document.
What's notable about the date and the time on this particular message?
Is this 114?
It should be, Judge.
I just want to make sure, for the record, it's okay, this is 114.
114.
These are from December 3rd, 2022.
Your Honor, may we just approach
Sure.
for a moment?
Couldn't you just have given all of this to the state and they could have objected beforehand?
I'd move to enter defense exhibit number 114.
Objection, hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
And sir, as to the windows, did the information that you received as an expert in forensics, digital
And Dory asks, does this guy really have a lawyer's license, or is Uncle Vinny from the weekend at Bernie's? I would be so mad if I paid this guy to defend me. Yeah, he hasn't had. I think he had one document so far put into evidence. The rest is hearsay. So yeah, I hope he's not paying too much.
forensics, did that inform your opinion?
It did.
Okay, and what is your opinion about the window replacement without getting into the hearsay statements?
That the project originated,
Objection, Judge, calls for speculation. To refer to it as the project assumes that he is correlating this information with what occurred that's been admitted into
You
evidence.
want to rephrase?
I'll
That's
rephrase. With regard to the subject of windows, without specifically talking about a project, what does this indicate to you and what conclusions can you reach?
that Christine Banfield contemplated or explored window replacement in 2021 related to issues of age and condition of her existing windows.
Judge, objection, he's testifying to the content.
All right. He gave his opinion. All right.
Yes, yes.
Next question.
I think you just have, what's essentially, you can't go with the writing that's on there. Thank you. Now, sir, I'm going to show you what will be marked
125.
Your Honor, I believe defendant's 125.
Okay.
No one, he can't testify to if Christine was the one ordering it, can't testify to if they had a discussion about changing the
Sir, do you
windows.
see the picture on the
She
screen
wanted
there?
double plate, he wanted three pane windows.
It's text. But yes,
You see that?
I do.
Okay. Does Your Honor see it?
No, you have to go to the next slide, I think.
It's to try and sneak it in if you can.
All we have is writing, is that what you're talking about?
Yes,
You want a
yes.
picture?
It's a picture of writing.
Okay, it's writing, okay, that's what he said, okay, 125, okay? Yes, we can see that.
Okay. And you just see that, correct?
Correct.
And was this something that you reviewed in discovery?
He's there to dismiss the charges against catfishing, saying that, no, this wasn't set up, Christine was knowledgeable about a lot of the things. So far, it's the windows. I don't know if they're going to go to the devices and the FedLife as well, but so far, it's only been that, she knew about the windows.
To inform your opinions relating to the date that it shows on there.
This is something I reviewed from discovery. I read it after my opinions were formed.
Okay, so let's just make that clear. And I think you had testified before. In what order did you review the items in evidence versus Detective Miller's findings?
I performed all of my work first before looking at Detective Miller's findings.
And so is this something that you looked at after you had arrived at your conclusions?
Yes,
Okay, and is this something that you relied upon in arriving at your conclusion today?
I didn't rely upon it. I have it here because Detective Miller said it in a way that it was both accurate and succinct. I couldn't do much better, so I copied his work.
Okay, and in terms of how would you so what is this part of, this particular statement that's before you?
Objection, if he's going to testify to anything that's contained in the document, regardless of whether or not he copied it, it's hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
What document is this part of, a part of that you're looking at?
This is from Detective Miller's executive summary.
Okay, and did you hear any evidence in the court relating to Detective Miller's executive summary?
I did.
Okay, and who were the witnesses who were speaking of that?
Detective Miller.
Objection, calling for hearsay, the jury had the opportunity to hear the
All
testimony.
right, I'll sustain the objection.
Do you recall who, well, okay. This was, is it fair to say this was mentioned in court?
Yes.
Okay, and sorry.
126?
Sorry, Judge, I just, a little premature, I was
All right.
getting it ready. So to avoid hearsay, because this is a written document, can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how how this affected your conclusions as a result of your examinations?
This didn't affect my conclusions other than to corroborate them after I was done, seeing that our findings were aligned.
Okay, and so do you agree with what you see on the screen here that's hearsay that the jury can't see?
I do.
Sir, do you see the next slide on the screen?
I do.
And if you can describe what you see there on the screen.
Judge, I'd object to any description of the content, hearsay.
There are pictures there, Judge.
So if you could just maybe limit it to the pictures.
Okay, let's start with the pictures. Do you
Okay.
recognize those pictures?
I do.
And are those pictures that you were able to identify independently within the data that was provided in discovery for the defense?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and if we can look at the first picture, do you have any idea based on digital forensics where that picture was taken, or actually not where that picture was taken, where that picture came from?
The picture on the left?
Yes.
The picture on the left came from Christine Banfield's phone
And the picture on the right?
also.
Okay, and what processes did you utilize in order to reach those conclusions?
Well, as I was reviewing the data from Ms. Banfield's phone, I found them. They were familiar to me because I'd seen them from other sources, such as search warrant returns from FetLife. I'd also seen one of them in Facebook returns. That a return is data provided by a service provider in response to a warrant. So I'd seen them both from multiple sources.
And the one on the left that you've identified, is there any way to know the timing of that based upon your analysis?
I believe it was January 17th, around 8 p.m.
And January 17th is significant in this case.
Objection, counsel's testifying.
Sorry. What's the significance of January 17th in terms of the issues in this case?
Yeah, and the photo, I believe, was actually closer to 7:30 or 7:20. January 17th was the day that the FetLife account, which is obviously important in this investigation, was created. That is the user profile. Somebody set up an account on FetLife, and one of these pictures came into play.
So let's take this opportunity to talk about the accounts that were set up that were alleged to have been run by Juliana Peres Magalhães in her recant. What were the accounts that we're talking about?
So there's 3 accounts. There was the Gmail account, there was the FetLife account, and then the third would be the Telegram account.
And can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what's the significance of those 3 accounts and how are they linked?
So each account is linked to at least one other account, and that's significant for me as a digital forensic examiner because it's sort of a one or done. And the way the accounts were set up, so the Gmail account was set up first. The Gmail account was used to set up the FetLife account. So you couldn't set up the FetLife account unless you knew about and had access to the Gmail account. To have access to the Gmail account, you'd have to know it existed, A, and then you'd have to have the password to log into it. So the Gmail account sets up the FetLife account. The FetLife account was used to move conversations over to Telegram. So all 3 accounts are linked, and anybody that had knowledge of any one of the accounts owns all 3 of the accounts. You couldn't use one without the other. You couldn't.
That's absolutely untrue what he just stated. Absolutely untrue. He said to have access to A, you must have access to B, you must have access to C. To get to B, you need the password for A. That's the Gmail account. But, and here's the little kicker, and I know this might be a little hard to know if you are not as smart as this guy. How many of you type your password every single time you go into your Google account? If you steal Christine's laptop, there will be a password artifact or cookie on that one. So you can just open up her email address or her Google. Then you can set up your FetLife account. Have that ping back to the Gmail. Delete it on the Gmail. And then when you have the FetLife and the deleted the deleted Gmail, you can go and move it over to Signal. All of this can be set up if you are in a house with a woman who works nights and sleep days, if you are nefarious areas, if you had access to my phone computer. Because I don't shut everything down and encrypt it because I have my access code on my computer. If you had access to my computer, you could go into my Gmail accounts, no problem. You just hit the Gmail account. You will be in there. You don't need a password. What he said was absolutely not true. All of you do exactly the same thing every single day because your Gmail or your Apple ID is locked on your phone, and all it takes is you to be able to open your phone. Then people can access your Gmail account, they can set up a FedLive account, and then they can delete the confirmation email. What he said is absolutely not true. It's like being able to access work emails on home iPad, different records. If you have a clearance so you can access it, there would be an artifact showing, okay, this has been opened on your iPad. The thing is, the nanny said we took her laptop and used that to set it up. So all the things will ping back to her her laptop. Everything was done on her laptop. That's the smart part. You should always do that, not criminal advice. But if you're trying to set up a fake account, you should use your husband's phone to try and make a breadcrumb. This is how I entertain myself when you're sleeping and I come down from the attic and take pictures of stuff. Well, I do sleep in the nude, so oh my. Now I know where this is where all the unsolicited D pics come from. It's side eyes because she figured out my computer entry. I have every password for both my husband's and my accounts for literally everything and vice versa. In case one of us get hit by a bus, that's not weird at all. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Exactly. Didn't Turtle Boy go through this with his Apple Watch? Again, would it be unreasonable to think that you are in a loving, trusting environment with your spouse and they say, oh, can I borrow your phone for this? Or can I use your laptop because I forgot mine at work, and you know that project we're looking at, I just want to show you the windows we're looking at. Sure. And I'm gonna make a note on there that you have to remember we're having the guy over on the 23rd of December. Sure, do that, honey. The code is 1234. And I'm smart. My code is 4321. No one ever figures that one out. My phone requires my face. Laptop is just autofill passwords. That's the thing. So what he said is just makes nothing. No, he's trying to get hearsay in constantly.
Jump into a Telegram conversation without knowing first how it began from FetLife, and you couldn't get into FetLife without.
Judge, I'm going to object to the speculation. Wouldn't be able to. There's no foundation for that.
All right, I'll sustain just that part.
Okay. In terms of the objection relating to foundation, what did you rely upon?
Only if you are talking about an hour of a defense attorney getting nothing in.
Or to inform those opinions that you're telling the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
The content of the data within the accounts and my knowledge of how accounts work in the FetLife responsive documents from the Fairfax County Police Department search warrant. It says right in there that the user email associated with this is the Gmail account. So the user connected the accounts. The Telegram connectivity is based on the content from the FetLife messages. Please contact me. Do you have Telegram? Please contact me there.
Sir, I'm going to have you look at the next slide. Is this the foundational artifact that supports your testimony to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
So this is a picture that Ms. Banfield took of herself on the evening of January 17th.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, is that 115?
This would be 127.
127. Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 127.
Any objection to 127?
No, ma'am.
Okay, 127 in evidence. You can
They
publish.
are stylish.
And so if you can just explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what the artifact, what's the significance of that artifact and what you took from it to arrive at your conclusions.
So it's a picture, obviously, of Ms. Banfield. I'd characterize it as a selfie in the mirror. The file name date, or the file name, that's what I'd call a typical Samsung or Android file naming convention. So in line with what I'd expect to see for a picture taken by a Samsung mobile device. At the very bottom of the screen, you can see that it is a Samsung phone model SMG 991U. The dates and times, the date and time here that's relevant is January 17th, 2023 at 7:20 and 45 seconds p.m. If you look at the file name 4 lines above, that is the typical Android file naming convention that's comprised of the date. So we see 2023 0117 underscore and then 1920, which is 7:20 in 24-hour time.
Now, the software and the make and the model, is that significant? Does that corroborate anything that you've identified?
Yes, the make and the model is corroborative. This phone was, in fact, a Samsung SMG 991U, which informs me that this picture was actually taken in what we call native to the device. So it's a photo both contained on the device but taken by that device rather than one you'd get in a text message or email as attachment.
Your Honor, I don't believe I've previously identified it, but I would put it in as Defense Exhibit 127.
This one, it's already been, and it's been published for the last.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm covering my bases.
Okay.
Sir, I'm going to have you look at this item. Do you see that on the screen?
I do.
And are
Yeah,
those
I didn't
digital
get that
artifacts
one
that you
either.
relied on in arriving at this?
You could call them.
Describe what you have, what you see in that slide.
So this is part of the responsive documents received in this case from Facebook. And so the information, it is digital, it is artifacts, but it's not recovered from a device so much as provided by Facebook from their servers.
Okay, and did you create this slide?
I did, yes.
Okay, and what's the significance of the notations on the left side? Actually, Your Honor, I would move to enter into evidence, I think, Defense Exhibit 127?
128.
128.
128. Any objection to 128?
No, ma'am.
All right, 128 in evidence published, please.
Sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what those markings are, both on the left side of the picture and below the picture?
Yeah, so as I said, this is information that was provided by Facebook. This is where Christine shared this photo with Brendan. Just starting at the top left and working down into the right, the author, Christine Banfield, so it was sent by her from her account. It was sent on the service providers, in this case, almost universally, provide us with documents in UTC, Coordinated Universal Time versus Overgrant Mean Time, so it needs to be adjusted. So this, in February, or January, I'm sorry, we need to subtract 5 hours, so that's why it's appearing as January 18th instead of January 17th. But January 18th at midnight and 20 seconds, midnight and 20 minutes is actually January 17th at 7 p.m. and 20 minutes here on the East Coast. In City, provide us with the service providers, in this case, almost universally, provide us with documents in UTC, Coordinated Universal Time versus or Greenwich Mean Time. So it needs to be adjusted. So this in February, or January, I'm sorry, we need to subtract 5 hours. So that's why it's appearing as January 18th instead of January 17th. But January 18th at midnight and 20 seconds, midnight and 20 minutes is actually January 17th at 7 p.m. 18th hours. So that's why it's in February or January.
Doesn't it say, it says 9 o'clock, it doesn't say midnight, does it? Am I reading this wrong? 9 o'clock UTC, so this would be -5, this would be 6 o'clock in the evening. No, sorry, I'm wrong. This would be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, sorry, it's 0020. Okay, yeah, he's right. This is 6:30 in the evening. That's because they highlighted it wrong. I was like, what the hell? Sorry.
I'm sorry, we need to subtract 5 hours, so that's why it's appearing as January 18th instead of January 17th. But January 18th at midnight and 20 seconds, midnight and 20 minutes is actually January 17th at 7 p.m. and 20 minutes here on the East Coast. So she sent it, and the body of the message she sent was new bathing suit included, and the artifact below that is just the attachment, which is this photo, and the name that the associated data that Facebook includes with that.
So let's just have a little discussion about UTC time. You called it Greenwich Mean Time, correct?
Objection, mischaracterization. He said that it is universal, and it is a 5-hour difference. I believe it's been asked and answered.
I think he can explain it, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry, was that a stipulation that it's a 5-hour difference?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And so we don't need to explain too much now. Why are some items in UTC time versus present time?
He just said so.
My experience and what I believe to be the reason is, and this is universal with service providers, from my experience, Google, Facebook, phone companies as well, they just provide everything in UTC time. So they provide it in one time zone and you have to do the work. Otherwise, they'd have to send records to Fairfax in East Coast time. They send them Chicago in Central time, LA, and they're providing records to law enforcement and legal counsel all over the world. So they just send it as UTC. That's, I think, why UTC exists, sort of to give us all something we can all start with and work with personally from there.
Indeed.
Thank you, sir. Can you look at this next slide?
Yes.
Is that something that informed your
I
opinion
just saw it the wrong time.
that you've been telling the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes, this is a digital artifact from a laptop.
Okay. And is that the laptop, Christine's laptop, that was introduced into evidence through the portable case with Detective Miller?
It is.
Okay. And can you explain, Your Honor, I've moved that in as Commonwealth's Exhibit 129.
Any objection?
No objection.
129.
Sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what that is and how that's significant?
Sure. This is a Windows event artifact. It contains the security identifier. So for Windows computers, every user is assigned a security identifier number, and that's the long number we see on the second line down, ending in 1001 on this case. So that just informs us of which user profile was active at the time that the activity took place. So a computer, if you have a shared computer in your household with 4 people, each one will have their own unique security identifier, and that's what you get when you log into your profile, and that's why your things will come up, your information, your email accounts, versus somebody else who might be using a shared computer. It could also be in play with, for work computers that are shared as well.
Oops, sorry.
The time and date are just that, and these have been, this is in East Coast time because of where the computer is located. And down to the bottom, the third line up, just tells us what this event represented, and this is just simply a log on to this device by that particular user with that security identifier of 1001.
Sir, I'm going to have you take a look at this slide. Is this a slide that you created for this presentation?
This is a screenshot.
He's trying to prove that it's not a catfishing incident because Christine must have put herself on FetLife. I think that's where he's going to go later. Hey, David. I think that's his end goal, to say that it was Christine who set it up. So he didn't kill her. It was Joseph Ryan who killed her. That's at least today I have a kind of an idea where he might be potentially going.
Of an artifact from the same computer.
And what's the significance? Well, Your Honor, I move this in as Counsel Exhibit number 130.
Any objection?
No objection.
130?
Sir, if you could, go through this. What is the significance of this artifact in terms of a digital forensic analysis?
Similar to the last, this is just another standard Windows event that we often see when a computer is either powered on or logged onto. So the time of this, if you want to compare it to the slide before, is likely within milliseconds. A lot of things happen when we start our computers that go on in the background. The previous slide was the user logging into their account. This is just reflective of the computer probably almost immediately joining the Wi-Fi account for in this case, what I know to be the Banfield home.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, he's referenced the previous slide. I'm going to put it back to the previous slide.
129 is in evidence, so you can go back to 129.
So that's the previous slide.
Yeah.
Can you just highlight what it is you were talking about in terms of the timing?
Yeah, so if we look at the created date time,
Judge, the Commonwealth will stipulate that they show at the same time.
Okay, stipulation that it shows the same time. Thank you. So is there anything additional that you need to testify to about that slide?
no.
She is working.
Do you see a slide before you?
I do.
Okay. Your Honor, that would be identified as Defense Exhibit 131.
All right. I'm just making sure we didn't see it yesterday. I'm not sure we did. So we'll make it 131.
I don't think we did, Judge.
Okay, 131.
May I have?
Sir, do you see that?
I do.
Okay. And if you could just describe, was this something that you utilized in your forensic analysis of this case?
Yeah, I think there are other images that are associated with this that will come up in progressive clicks, but this is using artifacts from the laptop that I examined, or the portable case that I was using to examine artifacts from within the laptop. This is a sort of sequencing of events in chronological order, and that's, I think as I described before, something we do looking backward in time and following events on a device might help inform who was using the computer, and certainly the time and date and what they might have been doing.
Your Honor, I move this in as Defense Exhibit number 131.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
131 in evidence.
If you could please publish that to the jury. Sir, can you just explain, they didn't have that on the screen when you were...
Sure, these are the artifacts that I located on Ms. Banfield's laptop, and this just shows that shortly after the computer was logged on and joined the Wi-Fi, that she opened a browser and navigated to or viewed a Google website and her email
Judge,
inbox.
objection calls for speculation. He doesn't know who it was that looked at anything. He can tell us what the computer did.
All right, I'll sustain objection.
Yeah.
The person whoever was using the computer.
They should talk fast. No, they talk absolutely slowly. This is in 1.5 speed. I'll put it down, but 125. But yeah.
Opened a Google website and Google inbox related to Ms. Banfield.
And sir, what's the significance of the email, the Gmail account that's identified in the second line there?
Nothing.
Versus,
It's hers.
other
It's on the
Gmail
computer.
accounts?
So this one became known to me through my review of all of the evidence in the case as Ms. Banfield's sort of go-to email account. This is not the alleged suspect email account that we talked about is being formed on January 9th.
And what was the alleged suspect Gmail account that you referred to?
That was the one that was used to then set up the FetLife account in Telegram. Is the account, the alleged suspect Gmail account was the one that received communication from FetLife, both the FetLife service provider and from users wanting to message through that account.
Okay. Sir, I'm going to show you this next slide. Do you see that?
I do.
Your Honor, I'd move that in as Defense Exhibit 132.
All right, any objection to 132?
No objection.
All right, any evidence can publish?
And so tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what this is.
So again, chronologically, this is, it looks like just under a minute later, whoever was using this computer was now able to see the draft email box within their Gmail account, Ms. Banfield's Gmail account, also the sent email box or account messages from Ms. Banfield's account.
And where are the sent emails that you're referencing?
It's the now fourth line down. You can see on the title of the slide, also on the left-hand side for the URL, that's just showing that the sent mail box or tab was open at this time.
Okay, and the draft mails are the one, well, you tell me. I'm not going to.
Yes, the draft is right above it. Usually parenthetically, when there's a number there, for us email users, that reflects the unread messages in the respective accounts.
Your Honor, did I move that into evidence?
That's in evidence.
Okay. Sir, do you see this new slide, which is incorporating the old slide?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what's the significance of that? And then if you identify it, then I'm going to move it into evidence. So just identify that as a slide, and Your Honor, I'd identify it as Defense Exhibit 132?
133.
133.
Any objection to 133?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Again, just chronologically, this is more activity shifting away from one service provider to another, from Gmail to Facebook in less than a minute.
And the timing is in the second column?
It is. So this would be January 17th at 10:01 and 10 seconds p.m.
Okay. Sir, I'm going to move on to the next slide. This will be identified as Defense Exhibit 134.
Any objection to 134?
Sorry, Judge, if I just have a second.
You picked this trial because Jamie loves a good unaliving and BDSM tale, and she's nowhere to be found while we suffer through this boring nonsense. Lefty, maybe you should serve the papers to the people who deserve it, because, yes, Jamie will be hosting the next 3 weeks, Beauty on a Budget, every day, and I will be taking time off, and she can make the content, because this was, yeah. Expert says, this may be the last time I talk to you. The snow is coming. May your shoes never get termites, your windmills keep spinning, and your tulips blossom. Thank you so much. And I know you're below the Mason-Dixon, but until there's at least this much snow, stop whining.
Judge, I understand that the slides are just successive.
The only new thing is the artifact information.
Right, we're just adding one item at a time.
And remember to
Okay.
buy some
No
salt
No objection.
to
134.
throw out there so
Sir,
the ice will melt.
As Ms. Sand said, this is a progression of items, and there's a new portion. Can you describe what that is?
Yes, so this is artifact information relating to the login of now the alleged suspect Gmail account. So we can see down at the bottom of the highlighted section, this is CBRN 920 at Gmail. That's different from the email that we see at the top of the screen for C. Banfield. So this is significant because now, again, we're talking about a login to the account that's central to this investigation. So whoever was using the computer at this time, at 10:03 and 4 seconds, was clearly aware of the account and had the credentials because this is a successful login.
Sir, do you see that slide, the new slide?
I do.
Okay, and there's, as said before, there's one additional piece of evidence there. Is this something that you created and something that you relied upon?
It is.
Okay, Your Honor, I move that as Defense Exhibit 135.
Any objection?
No.
135.
Sir, if you can explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury the significance of this in terms of digital forensic analysis.
So the content to me is not as informative necessarily as the sequencing. So we had Facebook at 10:01. If we look just above the Google login we just discussed, or the Gmail login we just discussed, we have the Gmail login at 10:03, and now we're back in Facebook at 10:03 and 35 seconds. The significance of the highlighted portion in the last artifact, or the newer one that we're reviewing, is that we're looking at a media attachment within Facebook. Obviously, for any of us who use it, there's a lot of different things we can look at, but in this particular one, we were looking at a media attachment.
Sir, if you could look at the next slide, which will be identified as Defense Exhibit 136. please explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this something that you relied on in your digital forensic analysis?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I move that in as
Any objection?
Defense Exhibit
Nope.
136.
136 in evidence, published.
Go ahead, sir. Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what this significance of this in the line of messages?
Yeah, so as we might imagine, as we do things on our computers, things happen in rapid fashion. And when we slow down and sort of look at what's happening on the back end and visualize it that way, it seems to make sense. So just before this, at 10:03 and 35 seconds, we are looking at a media attachment, what I believe is a photo on Facebook. And then 5 seconds later, at 10:03 and 40 seconds, we have a download of a photo in the Chrome browser that was being used at the time. And this is a download to the computer.
Thank you, sir.
So could this be
We
the
actually
photos from the
identified,
Facebook
as
that they
Defense
downloaded
Exhibit
and used for
137.
FedLife?
Can you look at that, sir?
Are we going to go anywhere
Yes, I can.
today?
And is this something that you analyzed and created as a result of your digital forensic analysis?
It is.
Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 137.
Any objection? 137 in evidence, published.
Sir, can you give some context, or can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how you obtained this and what the significance of it is?
Sure. So again, each of these is building on the previous artifact, but so at 10:03:40, we had the photo downloaded to the computer. At 10:04 and 23 seconds, so under a minute later, that same photo is emailed as an attachment from the alleged suspect Gmail account to the alleged suspect Gmail account. And the email
From the alleged suspect to the alleged suspect. It's from the victim to the victim. From Christine to Christine. She's not the alleged suspect. She's the victim in the case.
Gmail account to the alleged suspect Gmail account. And the email attachment, if we look at the file name on the very bottom that ends in 1973_n.jpg, we can see that that's the same file that was downloaded from Facebook 2 lines above it at 10:03 and 40 seconds.
And sir, this is identified as Defense Exhibit 138. Is this highlighting what you just said?
It is. This is just drawing attention to the fact that we're correlating now the same photo. And this is one of the things we do in digital forensics. We can follow an artifact around as it goes, and that can be informative.
Your Honor, can I move that in as Defense Exhibit 138?
Any objection?
Noted.
All right, 138.
The ladies and gentlemen just see that. Do you want to direct them as to what the change is in this?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is just the annotation I described, just showing that these two artifacts are linked. The download,
Sorry.
it's gone.
I,
There it is. The download a minute or so before the email.
okay, thank you. Sir, I'm going to have you look at the next slide, which will be identified as Defense Exhibit 139. What is that?
These are WhatsApp messages from Ms. Banfield's cell phone.
Okay, and what, if anything, how did you arrive at, how did you get these digital forensic artifacts?
From the review of the
Yeah,
data
the push
provided
was-
from the portable case related to Ms. Banfield's.
We have Canadians in here, Lefty and other Canadians, Holly Mack and Lefty. And right now, they are having below 30 degrees. And the only thing that's stopping them from walking out is a moose. Lefty would be in shorts in the weather you're having. Stop crying so much. It's just winter. I had shorts on when I was out shopping today, and it's 29 degrees.
Cell phone.
Oh, and then Nina
Your Honor, I
Canadian.
move this in
of
as
course.
Defense Exhibit 139.
Any objection?
No.
139?
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury of what the significance?
But for your wonderful wife's sake, remember to salt your driveway and all of that so you don't slip and fall on the ice.
Of this communication? And am I correct, this is all on January 17th?
This is on January 17th, yes.
Okay.
So I think as Detective Miller said rather well,
Yeah,
context
Canadians don't
matters,
use
context
this.
is helpful. So we don't, to help determine user attribution, which is always the big question for us in the digital forensics field, we don't just look at one device, we look at everything we possibly can to inform what a person was, where a person was. If someone's device is being used by someone other than the owner, if they're physically removed from it, we can draw that conclusion. So I was simply looking at
You can use any type of salt. If you only have the fancy weird stuff, the pink thing, because you read it sometimes in Live Like Love Laugh or something, that you have to use Himalayan pink salt. Salt is salt. It's the same components. It'll lower the freezing point of water, and that's what makes the snow melt. It's not important if it's Himalayan sea salt, if it's special rock salt for pavements, or it's just your garden variety iodized salt that you use in your kitchen. Salt is salt. They just sell it in different packages to make you pay more for it.
Ms. Banfield's phone at the same time frame that I was looking at her laptop, so we can see the date is January 17th, and the timing is right around the same time that we were looking at from the computer a moment ago, right around the early 10 o'clock hour.
Sir, I'm going to move to the next slide and have you take a look at that. Can you identify that slide?
I can.
And just to be careful here, is the left side of the slide what was on the previous slide?
It'll melt
139?
and it'll be salt water. It doesn't really change much.
Were those the communications that you were talking about on the previous slide?
Yeah, so,
Do you want me to go back so you can see it?
no, I have them both.
Okay.
Would you like me to describe this?
If you could describe it.
I was on replay, but you said back there where I was not to bother. So we're finally getting into some good questions, Sherry.
Yeah, so one of the things that the forensic software allows us to do is both look at the artifact in sort of a raw form that might be useful for us, but it also allows us to visualize a conversation just like we would on our devices. So we'd have, sort of a comment bubble or chat bubble on the right and the left as we talk with somebody.
Okay.
So it's just a
If you have a dishwasher, you'll probably have it. I don't know if you use that in America because you don't have real things over there. But you put salt in it to make sure that it doesn't calcify. If you don't have any other salt, and don't buy the special for this, you can just buy dishwasher salt that you normally put in that. If you can't find any other salt, salt is salt. It's a connections of NaCl, natrium chloride. You just need natrium chloride because it'll lower the melting point or the freezing point for snow. That's why it'll take the ice away.
visual representation of the same data.
And so without getting into the conversations, were you able to determine that a conversation took place?
Yes,
Okay.
That's why you should
And
just
were you able
put
to
salt in
determine
it.
who the conversation was between?
yes.
Okay.
We can buy those as well, but it's just easier to buy.
Ron, I'm
It's way too expensive.
not gonna present
compared
that.
to
Just I
putting
need
salt
one for you,
in.
that's fine.
140, okay.
Is this a good time for a break, Mr. Carroll?
It'll be fine, Judge.
Okay,
You know what would have been a good time for a break before the trial started? So we know someone had access to her computer and used her computer, and those people downloaded a photo from Facebook to her Gmail account, then sent it to her Gmail account. I'm not a tech expert, but if I was to guess why, probably because when you have you will have one artifact on this one. It'll call it something Facebook related, and you're probably sending it to yourself to try and trace to hide the trace that it actually came from Facebook. That's the only reason I could see why they would do it, because why would she email herself a picture and her in a bathing suit that wasn't that flattering? Is that the one you would choose if you were gonna go on a dating website to try and hook up with some fellas? I don't know, Lefty, is that how you do it? My thoughts about Greenland, it's the biggest island in the world, and it has a staggering high family smacks rate, and it has a very high rate of abuse towards children. And most of it is covered by 3 kilometers of ice. The main industry is fishing, whaling, and seal clubbing. I don't think they're allowed to club the seals anymore. Other than that, it's a part of the great Danish kingdom. We should have Iceland back as well. Norway is also part of the great Danish kingdom. Sweden should, because they are unable to be a country of their own, come back to Denmark. And not to be negative or about anything, but most of Britain should also be returned to Denmark as it is ours. So I'm looking forward to when we are going to go back to when Valdemar Victory was the king of Denmark, and we get our possessions back from all of you broke people who escaped from the Danish crown. You will be back. When I become emperor of mankind, I will fix all of those mistakes. Dave, that's a good thing that you might believe is right. The inland ice has grown significantly since everyone has said it's not growing anymore. China tried to buy the concessions for mining in Greenland roughly 15 years ago, before anyone really knew anything about it. And they did a cost benefit. It'll be way too expensive to get anything out of Greenland because you have to go through 3 kilometers of ice. So all of this is political bullshit. It has no bearing in the real world. And I was right when I said we're going to do military concessions and everything will be fine. So stop listening to politicians, stop listening to the news, start listening to the baker. Because I told you this back when the experts started asking me about Greenland months ago. It's unless we run out of raw materials anywhere else on the planet, it will never be cost efficient to mine Greenland. The sea ice covers more every year than it did 20 years ago. So first of all, you will have a very hazardous area to try and get your equipment into. Second of all, you'll have to shut down most of the year. So and Greenland doesn't have the infrastructure to do any of this. So you have to build an entire new infrastructure. It sounds really smart when the politicians or the news anchors talk about it. We had it 15 years ago when China tried to buy Greenland because there's a big liberation movement going on in Greenland. And they tried to say, well, we're going to sell all our mining rights to China. And China said, well, fuck no, now we did the math. We're not going to go there. Are you crazy? Because there's 3 kilometers of ice that you have to go through. It's really hard to go through 3 kilometers of ice, especially when every single piece of clothes, food, equipment, every screw, every tomato, every mitten has to be flown in. It's going to be so exceedingly expensive that there's no reason to try looking at the mining rights in Greenland. Greenland is an isolated island that has almost no agriculture, has almost no substantial infrastructure. Everything is by boat or by plane. So stop worrying so much about things that never going to happen. What's the population of Greenland? It's less than as in my county. That's roughly around 50,000 people. And those 50,000 people are getting paid $5 billion a year by the Danish state to run their country. So they have, if we left them, they would have nothing. They don't have a hospital system. They don't have a school system. They don't have a police. One cool thing that I think you Yanks might like, if you go to prison in Greenland, no matter if it's for slapping your wife or unaliving your neighbor, you will be allowed to go hunting because it's part of your cultural inheritance. So you will be given a gun by the prison so you can go out and hunt. You don't have that in America. So they get free money to live. No, we pay. That's not free. We pay 5 billion a year to have them. And when they go to like uni level and high school level, they'll come to Denmark to finish their education. And sadly, a lot of them, you probably know this from the Native Americans, because they are of Asian descent, they have a low tolerance for alcohol. Their liver can't break it down like we can. Sadly, a lot of these people will end up with severe alcohol addiction. That's really tragic. Denmark hasn't been the most benevolent overlord. We have done a lot of bad things up there to save the savages. We forced IUDs into the young women because we tried to help them, because there's so much family stuff going on. What most of you probably don't know, because you didn't know Greenland existed other than the home of Santa Claus till Trump mentioned it. But Greenland is kind of like this. You have Nuuk, which is the capital of Greenland over here, and then you have like a few bigger cities on the west coast. The east coast is very, very unfertile. It has their small townships are called bygder. Bygder is the name of the townships, and they have them dotted up along the east coast. There is no access to that unless you come by boat. The Danish Marine or Navy are doing inspection runs up here to make sure that the Ruskies aren't coming and everything is okay, and the Chinese don't fish too much and stuff like that. And we have a Navy base down here somewhere. But those little bygder up along the east coast, because they're so isolated, back in the day, we actually went to check if they had died after the winter, because when there was no communication, you didn't know if a town would be existing the next summer, because fuckers could just die. They didn't know anything. And if you were a Danish soldier who came up there, it was expected of you that you would help refresh the gene pool in those little weird towns over here. That's towns where there's maybe like 100 people that is barely existing. They will go hunting. All of this in here is 3 kilometers of ice. There's nothing in here. You have Thule Air Base. I think that's kind of up like this area. This area is where you dropped a nuclear bomb by accident in the 60s, I think it was, 50s, 60s. But this entire area up here, there's no one. Nothing lives up here because you can't live up here. There's nothing. It's just ice. And we patrol that with what's called Sirius Patrolling, the Sirius Patrol. And they go around by dog sleds, and they will get everything airlifted into them because there is nothing. This is just snow, ice. You can't live there. So this big old area up here is just empty. It's kind of like going to the South Pole. There's nothing. There's no life. Shit, this was the wrong. Oh, I did it again. Oh, this is a permanent marker. Did I lose another whiteboard? But no, it's a place that only exists because other people supply it. They couldn't exist if other people didn't help them. But it sounds like a good idea to take it over. But you never wanted that, because imagine how little you can fix the potholes in your own state. Imagine you had to do it somewhere where everything had to be airlifted in. That wouldn't be fun. This sounds like you're describing Alaska in the 60s. Probably the northern part of Alaska is kind of the same, where you only have like 100 people living in a town, and they might just die over a winter. Were third world nations aware of this? I hope you did your geography. Well, I just gave it some glass cleaner. How much permafrost do they have in the summer? The entire internal place, or the entire internal landmass of Greenland is covered with 3 kilometers of ice. It'll never ever go free. If the entire amount of, it's called the inland ice, if that goes away, maybe Lefty will be alive still in Canada. The rest of us will be flooded, because that's where all the water got stored back when the last ice age happened. And dumping that much fresh water into the water system, we would all die. So yeah, don't hope for that one. Well, they will have like small greenhouses and stuff like that, but the problem is also that Greenland doesn't have what Iceland has. Iceland has a lot of thermal energy because of the volcanic activities. So they have a lot of excess heat. Greenland, everything has to provide it. You have to sail in the oil. You have to. It's It's actually a very scary place if you start looking at some of the statistics.
I brought one of the warmer that you will. Thank you.
Interesting.
Share with me.
No, it belongs to Denmark. Greenlanders. It belongs to Denmark. Because the original OGs in Greenland was the Vikings. They were there before the native population came there. Not many people know that, but that was during the small ice age in the Middle Ages that they walked from Canada to Greenland. See, you learn something new every time on this channel. And no one is giving Greenland away. It was just to up the
right, your next
military
question.
configurations. Calm down.
Mr. Lidsky, I'm going to have you look at the next slide, and if you can just identify it. Can you see that on your screen?
I can.
And is that something that you utilized in your digital forensic analysis?
It is.
Your Honor, I move that in as exhibit number 141.
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
141.
Sir, can you please explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what's the significance of this artifact?
Sure. This ties into the prior slide and artifacts that we reviewed, or the ones from the laptop, 2 slides prior. Again, we're just going chronologically and looking at what the user of this device was engaged in. Of note, and it might be helpful to go back 2 slides to the previous blue one. We're seeing a bouncing between applications and between accounts. That's helpful for me in this case, at least, because part of the information that I was aware of from witness interviews or co-defendant interviews is that when this device, which was the subject of alleged misattribution, removal, and use by another party or parties, that when the laptop was in that possession, it was just, we were just using the account or It was directed account usage. Here we're seeing a shift back and forth. So we started with Gmail at the beginning of this 2 slides ago. And then we went to Facebook, and then we had a download, and then we saw the suspect alleged account or alleged suspect email account in use. Then, and now here at 10:05, so this is all within a 5-minute window, we're back into Ms. Banfield's sort of the non-suspect account, so just her personal email account.
Sir, I'm going to have you look at the next slide, which is what you just described to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Your Honor, that would be exhibit number 142.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
Sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what's the significance of the additional line that's down on the bottom of this slide?
Yeah, it's merely just a continuation. The first line of this demonstrative, or sheet of the demonstrative, is at 10:05 at 17 seconds, and that's looking at a particular email. So that's where we see on the second and third lines, respectively, sent mail. That's the sent mail box and the inbox with a lot of unread messages. The first line is an actual specific message.
Sir, I'm going to have you look at the next slide, which will be identified as exhibit 143. Do you recognize that slide?
I do.
Do you recognize the additional line?
I do.
Okay. Your Honor, move that in as exhibit 143.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
143.
Sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury the significance of this artifact?
Sure. So this is a Google search for FetLife, which obviously is important in this case. Of note is the timing, again, looking at what's occurring right before this. So at 10:05, 10:06, 10:07, we have activity within Ms. Banfield's email account. And here at 10:07, basically 10:08, now we have a Google search for FetLife. So we've moved, the user of this device at this time has moved from one to the other.
Your Honor, I'm going to move on to the next slide.
All right.
Sir, can you identify what will be marked as exhibit 144?
Yes, I can.
Hello.
And Your Honor, I move that into evidence.
Any objection?
No.
144.
Sir, can you please explain that additional line and how it relates to the ones that you've already discussed?
Sure. So this is typically after a Google search and relatable. The search results come in, and very frequently users will click on a link. So in the third line down, we have a search for FetLife, and then immediately after, within under 30 seconds, we have a visit to the FetLife site.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide,
All right.
and this will be identified as exhibit 145. Sir, is that an artifact that you utilized in creating this slide?
It is.
Okay. Your Honor, I move that in as exhibit
Any
145.
objection?
No objection.
145.
Sir, please explain the significance of this additional artifact to what you've already described for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
So this is a second login to the alleged suspect email account, the CBRN 920.
Question. Other than who was it who had been using FetLife because they really needed a guy who would suck their toes, which is weird. If you're going to start getting you're gonna go and start hooking up with someone else, not your husband, because you really want to do something he's not willing to do for you, and you just can't have it in your system. would you just Google FetLife, or would you go Google BDSM sites, Google dating services, BDSM? Of course, she could have heard about it at work. Some lady says, "Well, you know that Dorian Gray type." I met someone on FetLife. He was kind of like Dorian Gray, except he wasn't a millionaire, and he smelled a little bit like stale pee, but he slapped my ass, and I liked it. Wouldn't you? Unless I hear it, I don't directly Google a website. Sarah used the app. Okay, yeah.
At 10:12 p.m. My experience is you cannot be logged into two Gmail accounts at once on the same device. So looking up to the top row of this slide, we're into Ms. Banfield's sort of personal email account. So at that point,
Yeah, that's another thing. If I was going to start this new, my husband has been cheating on me, and I think that he might be banging the nanny. We're kind of grown apart, and I just need someone to show up with some pliers, some rope, and 2 liters of lube. And by lube, I mean hot honey, because that's my lube. And I would probably be Googling a little bit about how to find this, how to find that. I wouldn't just go in instantly FetLife and then go in and say, "Oh my freaking God, I need to make an account on this one." When I found it, I would probably be a little, should I do this? Is this, yeah.
this computer was logged into the C. Banfield RN account, and now we're seeing a relog in back to the
I don't have
CBRN
the,
920 account.
dating apps.
And is there any
one
way
we
to
made
know
on
what
stream got
device that
deleted.
is?
That was from this laptop, from Ms. Banfield's Lenovo laptop.
Your Honor, I'm going to move on to the next slide,
All right.
and that will be identified as Exhibit 146. Sir, is this an artifact, or is this a slide that you created based upon your digital forensic analysis?
It
We
is.
don't kink shame on this.
And,
Blushy.
Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 146.
Any objection?
No.
146?
So moving on, sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what the significance of the data that's before them?
This is from Ms. Banfield's mobile device. This is a little bit later in the 10 o'clock hour, from 10:43 to 10:46 p.m. And these are just website visits that were performed using her mobile device at the time.
So the other thing happened on the house PC. This is on her mobile phone. I am gonna make a very misogynistic and overly biased against women's statement now. She's on Lululemon looking at leggings, some a run pace setter skirt, and some Lululemon something. I'm going to make a general broad statement that will confirm that I am a misogynist. This sounds like something someone would be in her bed if they're like, because if you're trying to say, well, she was at home and she could have used the PC, why wouldn't she just, if she was using the PC anyway, why would she go on her mobile phone to look for the Lululemons? It sounds more like she's in bed shopping. And you know what they say? Women do like shopping. I think that's from the Naughty Professor. I don't know. But to me, that just confirms she wasn't using the PC. Someone else was, because if you had just sat down there and said, oh, I find it very titillating that someone comes over and grapes me. I would probably have expected to have websites with a lot of triple X's in it after, because you have just taken this. Yeah, so she was back and forth between a deep king side and $150 dollar yoga pants. Again, if you just had the courage to say, I'm fucking gonna try and find someone who is gonna slap my ass like it's a piece of cheap beef, wouldn't you? Well, of course, what do I know? I'm a virgin. Wouldn't you feel it was a little titillating after, and maybe you would be in the shower using your electrical toothbrush while you were alone in the house?
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide.
All right.
And this will be identified as Exhibit 147. Sir, do you recognize that artifact?
I do.
And is that something that you reviewed in preparing this slide?
It is.
Can you please explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what's the significance of this? Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I moved that in as,
Any objection?
No.
I think she said no.
No, you said no.
I'm sorry, no.
Okay, all right. 147 evidence, sorry.
Okay, now it's on display, so if you could please explain that to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Yeah, this is simply opening the photo app on the Windows laptop.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide,
All right.
identified as 148.
Any objection to 148?
No.
148 in evidence.
Sir, explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what your artifacts, what the artifacts are and how they're significant.
So the user of this device at this time, using the Photos app, edited the photo we saw back at the beginning of these slides. So if you remember the photo we saw that was downloaded from Facebook to the device ended in 1973_N. And now we see at 10:47 p.m.
Yeah, but if you go in and look at the artifacts after, it'll say which device you used for it.
A new photo ending in 1973_N edit.jpg has now been used by the Photos app on this on Christine's laptop.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next exhibit. Sir, do you recognize this exhibit?
I think that's what
I do, it's just a call out for,
Okay, it'll be identified as Exhibit 148.
149.
149, I
Any
apologize.
objection to 149?
Well, he didn't make the circle himself, but I don't object.
Okay, 149 in evidence.
And I'm sorry, if you could, the jury now sees that. What were you saying about that?
yeah, that the circle is just a call out to what I described, just taking note of the file name.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide. This will be identified as Exhibit 150.
Any objection to 150?
Nope.
150.
Yeah, how can you make
Sir, can you
a
add-
deep?
Yeah, it's just a further call out to the
Case
tail
point.
end, the 1973_N edit.jpg.
And when you say call out, what your explanation was?
Yeah, just drawing attention to the significant part of the file name.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide.
All right.
Sir, do you see the slide in front of you?
I do.
Okay, and this will be identified as Exhibit 151.
151. Any objection to 151?
Judge, if you could lay foundation for how this slide was created.
All right.
Sir, what is it that you examined in order to create this slide? Can you explain?
Sure. I reviewed the responsive documents provided by FetLife to create this. I took screen grabs or snippets of those documents, which are rather voluminous, and I consolidated for me, what the salient points were into this slide.
And this is specifically related to this slide, correct? I'm sorry, to the topic of this slide.
Yes, this is the important information from the FetLife documents for this discussion related to this slide, yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I move that in as or Defense Exhibit 151.
Any objection? No?
Judge, I do. Unfortunately, it's out of context, and I think best evidence would require the full document be used.
Do you have the full document?
Judge, I believe that's part of the stipulations that were put in relating to the FetLife documents.
Correct, and we've admitted the full document into evidence. I think that is the document that should be used.
I don't have it right now, Judge.
All right.
We can move on from
You can
151.
supplement with the full document, then we can
Yes.
put it in. Okay.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to what will be identified as number 152. Sir, do you recognize this slide?
I do.
Okay, and I think there's been an objection relating to the full document, but what's the additional information that is on this
I don't know
document?
what Texas she
It's the addition of a photograph.
Okay, and what's the origin of that photograph?
Objection, Judge, asked and answered. We've already talked about this photograph. It's been admitted into evidence.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Your Honor, once we get the full
Okay.
document, then I'll
Sure.
ask for it to be admitted. I'm going to go on to the next slide, Judge.
Okay.
Sir, can you identify the artifacts that were used to make up this slide?
Yes, I can.
Okay, and where did they come from, and what's the significance of them for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
These came from Ms. Banfield's cell phone. They are web searches.
If I may just interrupt for a second, Your Honor, we'd move this in as Defense Exhibit number
Any
153.
objection to 153?
No objection.
153?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
These are web searches or website visits from
Christina. Who's Christina? Am I missing something? But I have to check. Is it Christina? Christina? Hvor, wann ist Christina?
Ms. Banfield's cell phone from January 17th from 10:49 through 11:29 p.m. They're
Shut up, Teresa. You're going to have so much fun, and the rest of us are sitting stuck with this one. Drink some pina coladas. Oh, your daughter. Okay.
informative in that the 1049 artifact at the top was about a minute after the FetLife account was created. So for timing, it's informative. For the middle column, we can see what the website was, or what was the website that was visited, what the content was. So that can be informative for a digital forensic examiner in helping determine potential attribution based on the content. So is it content related to one person over another? Is it related to, in this case, a catfishing theme? Is it related to, or is it what we might expect from a user's normal activity? It's also, I'm sorry if I can add one.
No, please.
Timing also is informative, obviously. If somebody's device is in use and we can assign attribution, then it shows that they're awake and in possession of their device. And obviously that was, for me, that was something important for this investigation to take note of.
Now, if just to deviate,
How can that prove that they are awake and in control of their device? Women's New Year's sale, Lululemon. 12-year-old leg amputated after 10 hours. Lawyer says. Man dies after hospital ignores him for 7 hours. Man dies after hospital ignores him for 7 hours. 12-year-old gets 12-year-old legs amputated after 10 hours. Wife of William Daniels was devastated by early open relationship. What's on tour? A guide to currently running and upcoming national touring productions, and then a shit ton of Frozen.
for a moment from that, in digital forensic analysis, what, if anything, do you do to try to determine a pattern of life regarding the use of devices?
Yeah, I can typically just looking at use over time, what's normal for a user. I've done that with, mobile device tracking, cell phone tracking when I was in law enforcement. you can infer patterns from the data, from use over time. On Ms. Banfield's computer, based on one of the statements the co-defendant made during her interviews, and I believe, again, a testimony was that she dropped her backpack by the door and didn't touch her laptop after that. I looked backwards for about a year in time of her user activity, and she was frequently using her laptop well into the evening from 10.
Judge, objection is to speculation. He can tell us what the devices were doing.
Now sustained.
If you could just explain what you were explaining as to what the devices were doing at what period of times, in terms of the pattern that you just described.
Sure. Ms. Banfield's device had a history of activity, devices had a history of activity well into the evening for an extended period of time, both
Was there
before.
a time frame that was consistent during that period of a year that you went back?
It was frequently between 10 or 11 p.m. and 1 or 2 a.m.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide. Sir, do you see that slide?
I do.
Is that a slide that you created?
It is.
And was it based on your analysis of digital forensics?
It is.
Your Honor, I'm going to identify this as 154.
Any objection to 154?
No.
Or 154 in evidence?
Sir, please.
I've literally watched X-rated movies from the 80s where the storyline was more intriguing than this. Yeah, how can you take a case about deep kink and make it less exciting than a Sunday sermon? But thank you so much, Lefty, for reminding us all. This is so annoying.
Please explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what the significance of these artifacts are.
So here we have another, the date is still January 17th. The time is from 11:32 through 11:35. These are from Ms. Banfield's mobile device. We have a couple of website visits on the top and the bottom, and in between we have a number of email email inbox visits with a Google, a couple of Googles in between. Of note here,
Clever woman figured out how to get the name and address of the person who stalked her. Is that what they're going to say? Or is it Christine Chenoweth regrets not suing over good wife injury?
towards the right, the second to last column on the right, we can, the digital forensic software we use can tell us whether a device was local or synced, among other sources. So we can see where we see local, it means in this case, the two local artifacts were website visits on this device itself. The intervening artifacts that are labeled as synced tell us that those could have come from a secondary device and are being replicated here as a result of Google's ability to sync accounts. If you're logged into your account on more than one device, what you do on one might appear on the other.
Now, the January 17th, what was the significance of January 17th again?
The FetLife was created around 10:48 p.m.
Okay, and so the timelines of all of these slides that the jury has seen are significant in terms of this set.
Objection, counsel's testifying.
What's the significance of it relating to the times?
Well, we've just walked through what was occurring on Ms. Banfield's laptop and her phone in the 45 minutes or so before through the 45 minutes or so after. And recalling the first slides we saw Windows log on to the laptop. So the activity that evening began around 10 o'clock when we first started running through these.
And are you, based upon the analysis that you did during this slideshow presentation, are you able to opine as to, within the degrees of digital forensic analysis, your opinions as to what was going on January 17th?
I am.
Can you provide that opinion?
So again, revisiting the originating slides, we saw a log on with Ms. Banfield's security identifier to her profile, at least on her laptop, around 10 o'clock, joining the Wi-Fi, which our computers do automatically. Immediately, we went into her email account, or the user of the device went into her email account, and then we started seeing other activity. We saw the alleged suspect Gmail account be logged into, and then we were back into Ms. Banfield's Facebook account where we viewed an image, a picture, a digital image. That image was then downloaded. And these are all happening within either seconds or a minute. That downloaded image was brought to the device early in the 10 o'clock hour, I think around 10:05. And then we saw, 30 or 40 minutes later, the Photos app opened up, an image edited, and that image would ultimately be uploaded to the FetLife account during the account creation. All the while on Ms. Banfield's phone, there appears to be certainly user activity. As Detective Miller said, context is hard, and we might need other corroborative data to see who was conducting that, but it's certainly unrelated. I think the website visit about Kristen Chenoweth has nothing to do with the scheme here at hand. So we can infer, and we do, and this is just one event in a timeline of many significant events, but we can draw inferences based on the totality before, after, during, and the content of who might have been operating. What I didn't see was a gap in time where a device that appears to be going in and out of accounts related to the scheme and not related to the scheme was exchange hands, like misappropriated. I didn't see any gaps of time where, where somebody might be using a device and then go to the bathroom and the device would be taken, potentially somewhere else in a house, used by somebody else and brought back. I didn't see gaps here for this particular event where that either occurred or even could.
Objection calls for speculation.
You have no idea.
This last part.
Okay. Based upon the analysis, in terms of the statements that you're making, what are your conclusions?
I didn't see anything here that indicated loss of control of the device. I'm not able to say who was in control of the device for the entirety of this period, but I did see inconsistencies in that the usage was not confined just to the accounts related to this investigation. In this case, that would be the suspect alleged Gmail account and the FetLife account. So interspersed with that, I saw personal account usage with Ms. Banfield's accounts.
All right, thank you. Mr. Klitsky?
Please end this now.
Sir, do you see the first slide before you?
I do.
Okay. And this, what's the topic that we're dealing with in terms of this particular piece of evidence?
So this is a snippet of a video interview with Ms. Magalhães. I believe in this particular clip, she's answering a question about the Telegram account creation and the associated activity. I think the deleting of the SMS code that was used to stand up the Telegram account.
Your Honor, I'd identify this as defense 155 and move this into evidence.
Objection, hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain as to hearsay.
Oh.
Sir, do you see the slide that's before you?
I do.
And what, if anything, what does this say? Or what, I should say, what's the significance of this in your digital forensic analysis?
So this was recovered from Ms. Banfield's cell phone, and it is the Telegram 2FA code, I think the two-factor authentication code that was described in testimony.
Okay. And, Your Honor, I would, I've identified it as 155?
156?
156? I'd move that into evidence, Your
Any
Honor.
objection to 156?
No, Judge.
All right, 156 in evidence.
Okay. And, sir, what's the significance of this particular artifact with regard to the issue of the Telegram setup?
This will put you back to sleep, MJ.
So the relevance here, I think, is corroborative information. Lieutenant Giaggio spoke about that yesterday, and it's important to discern the veracity of witness or co-defendant statements or testimony. This artifact was recovered from Ms. Banfield's mobile device from My understanding of the investigative materials provided to me, this had been deleted by Mr. Banfield. It wasn't deleted, it was still there. I understand.
Objection as to the mischaracterization of previous testimony.
You want to approach this? So,
And sir,
Well, I had it at 1.5.
This-
and
going
it
back to
was-
this
It was
artifact,
too fast. And we almost caught up.
this was
with it.
related to, I think you said, the Telegram setup and the two-factor authentication?
Correct.
Okay, and what's the significance of that in the context of the Telegram setup?
That is still present on Ms. Banfield's phone.
Okay. Is that significant, that that would be on her phone?
To me, it is.
Okay, and in what way is that significant, that the notice of a two-factor authentication?
The notice itself, not much. Its continued existence is of note because I find it inconsistent with the theory of the case.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to move on to.
Sure.
And I'm sorry,
we just-
157.
End this shit.
And sir, do you, can you identify these artifacts? And is this a slide that you created?
I can, and it is.
And it's based upon your digital forensic analysis?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I move that in as,
any objection?
No.
Okay, 157.
sir, can you please explain that to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
So these are, I believe, the four most recent text messages from Ms. Banfield's device over this time period. So from late evening or night of February 18th, 2023 at around 10 p.m. through the morning of the 19th at around 10 a.m. So at 9:58 p.m. on the 18th, we have just a message exchange with who I assume is a coworker based on a contact name. But at 2:19, so after midnight at 1:37, and again at 2:07, we have two FA codes, one of which is the Telegram code we just looked at on the prior slide. But the one before that is a signal verification 2FA code. The signal was not used as part of this alleged scheme, but to me it's informative that other secure messaging apps were experimented. At least it appears the user of this device experimented with others. The message on the morning of the 19th, again with another coworker, is there only to show sort of bookend activity. The idea that because the two FA messages from the early morning of the 19th were not deleted, they would be readily viewable by the user of the account the following morning. And so when normal sort of messaging activity resumed, the idea that, to me as a digital forensic examiner, the two FA codes, were not hidden or unseen by the user of this device.
And so just,
Objection calls for speculation. He can't
Speculation.
testify as to what someone saw or not.
All right, I'll sustain as to the last part there.
in terms of, you said 2FA, in the event that somebody doesn't know what that is, describe what two-factor authentication is.
Yeah, two-factor authentication, 2FA, is a number of service providers just require device possession. It's a way for them to confirm that you're holding and using and have authority in theory to use the device that you're registering. So it prevents us from signing each other up for a bunch of accounts. So that's why in this case, Signal and Telegram require you to be in possession of the phone that you're asking them to permit your use on their servers.
And in a situation or in a case like this with the allegations, would a two-factor authentication code's existence,
Objection leading.
Or sustain as to leading.
what if any significance would that hold in a case such as this?
For me, based on my experience, both as an investigator and digital forensic examiner, any misattribution scheme, to include catfishing, the name, misattribution is important. You want to hide your tracks. The idea is that the target of your efforts is unaware that they are being targeted, and you're exerting effort on that plan. So if you leave evidence behind, if you leave something that,
Judge, objection, this is speculative. He's speaking about what people do in catfishing. I don't think he is speaking to what happened in this case, and I don't believe that
Overruled. Okay, continue.
so the idea is to hide the hand, right? If somebody sees that their device or devices were tampered with,
What I have gathered from the last, it's only been 2.5 hours. How can time feel so slow? But what I've gathered is they want to say she set it up, so he was actually trying to save her life. That's the closing argument we're going to get to.
or there's usage that's not their own, they may become suspicious, they might question it. It could certainly raise a red flag. So traditionally, in my experience, one would remove all traces of their activity if in fact it is misattribution.
Here, I'm going to move on to the next slide.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I would identify this as Defense Exhibit 158.
All right. Any objection to 158?
No, thank
158
you.
in evidence.
Sir, do you see that slide?
I do.
And can you explain the significance of this analysis and this slide to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
These are unrelated, but I felt informative activity from Ms. Banfield's phone, again, from the day before and the day after. These are other user verification codes or 2FA codes for Microsoft and PayPal, things not related to the scheme. But they tell me that the user of this device was familiar with the codes, knew what they stood for, and was unlikely to ignore a message that
Objection
contained.
calls for speculation.
All right, I'll sustain the last part, speculation.
Okay.
was an
Sir,
IRS.
can you just explain that in a
He
way
will
that
take the
doesn't
stand.
cause you to
He
speculate?
testified to that earlier today. They only use Telegram.
For me, being aware of or familiar with how a certain item works would cause me not to ignore it if I.
Objection.
What the? I wouldn't ignore it if I had a two-factor authentication message in my inbox if it was open. Do you know what my experience tells me? If I'm not suspecting that anyone is touching anything, and I'm not getting a ding like I do some days when all the idiots are trying to get into my tweet, I'll get a ding and say, "Are you trying to access your?" And I'll say, "Nope," and it'll go away. That's my two-factor authentication. If you were, if Side Eyes came down from the attic, took my phone, opened it, and accepted a two-factor verification code from the twits, so they could follow along, I wouldn't notice it because I don't go in and look, oh, I guess I got an open email last night with a two-factor identification, because there will probably be 5 other emails about other stuff. People who have been blocked in chat, or Marissa yelling at me for not being nice enough to sue. I'm always nice to sue. This is pure rank speculation. You have no. This is like using body language. It's body language with digital implements. This is how you act on your phone. I want to hurt people who has all of their tabs open. You send me screenshots to hurt me where you have 45 tabs open. Well, the computer says it's better. I don't care. People who have 10,000 unopened emails, it hurts my OCD. So you have to act this way on the internet. No, you don't. Oh, This is the celebrate of.
Judge, he's testifying as to his personal experience.
I'll sustain the objection.
I didn't know where all the peen pick came from. I thought it was sleep peening.
In terms of two-factor authentication, how does that reveal itself on phones and
Hey,
devices?
Sue is back today.
It's readily identifiable by his face. I mean, we can look at the message and see what they are.
If
Any
it's been open, I don't.
users or people who engage in 2FA activity typically can identify them when they pop up.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'm going to move on to the next slide. Your Honor, this would be identified as Defense Exhibit 159.
Any objection to 159?
No.
159 evidence.
What does this say, Mr. Litsky? And if you could explain that to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
At 1:34 a.m., or approximately 1:34 a.m. on February 19th, an application was installed on Ms. Banfield's mobile device. We can see the name of it, thoughtcrime.secure SMS. That's the corporate name or the fancy name for Signal, which is a secure SMS messaging platform.
Can I just interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
What is SMS?
It's communications, messaging. It's just a digital communication platform.
Okay, sorry.
Not at all. So Signal was installed on Ms. Banfield's device at approximately 1:34 that same evening. Informative, although even though it didn't play into this case and this investigation.
What the hell happened now? What happened?
It is, I'd say,
I don't know what happened. Everything just froze up again.
a comparable app to
Judge, I'm
Telegram.
going to object to that statement. I don't believe that the witness has laid any foundation to suggest that Signal wasn't part of this investigation.
Right. I guess foundation is the question. If you
Okay. In your examination of the evidence that has been provided to the defense, does that inform your statement that you just made in terms of Signal?
Yes, my understanding of the evidence I've reviewed is that the suspect Gmail account was in use, FetLife, and Telegram was the secure messaging application that was used. Other similar applications like Signal, I did not see, nor was I made aware of any use by those on those platforms.
Okay. Can you please continue with your answer?
Sure. Signal was installed on this device, irrespective of what its intended use was for. We saw the Signal 2FA code on the slide before, and that's expected of what we'd see with an installation. That's usually when they require us to confirm the device that we're registering. Just given that it was a secure SMS that was installed or at least reviewed around the same time that the Telegram app was also being installed, I thought it might be related, and I flagged it of interest for that purpose.
And is it noteworthy in your investigation the email account that was used?
So the email account that's on here is obviously Ms. Banfield's. That would be the account associated with the device itself in the Google Play Store, which is required to download apps. So yeah, that is the account that was associated with the phone and this resulting download or installation.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, sure.
Ask you to look at the slide before you, and that would be identified as 160, 160.
They haven't testified to it so far.
Objection to 160? Okay.
Sir, what, if anything, did you look at in order to create this slide in terms of your digital forensics analysis?
This is a data location or a location of Ms. Magalhães' device or phone or mobile phone on February 20th and at 10:46 p.m.
I'm sorry, did you say the co-defendant's name?
Yes.
Okay. And what was used to create this document?
This is data recovered from her phone itself.
Okay, and the map portion of it?
The digital forensic software we use, when it encounters a location artifact, it gives us a little map.
And what's the name of that? What's the name of that software?
This is Magnet's, this is a Magnet Axiom
Okay,
software.
so it's the same as what Detective Miller used in extracting these devices and creating the portable case?
It is.
And so this would be identical to what you received from the
Lawyer said it
portable
this morning.
case?
Yes, it's an artifact from within it.
Your Honor, I move that in as Commonwealth's Exhibit 160.
Yeah, I don't know if
so
we are going to do
we've,
afternoon again today because this
We're into it.
we're moving
You tell me, what's
nowhere.
the significance of this, and is it related to what you just showed the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
This, I mean, this was a data point, a geographical data point recorded by Ms. Magalhães' phone on the evening of February 20th, basically at 10:46 p.m.
And February 20th is significant for what reason?
I believe February 20th, there was significant Telegram conversation, maybe FetLife conversation as well, and was the night of the voice verification phone call between, with Joe Ryan.
Your Honor, I move that in as, oh, I think I may have already done that. Yes, thank you.
Yes, we love Next Witness on this channel. She has been very generous with her boosting of yours truly, because no matter what, getting clipped on channels with people who love lawyer, you know, and they see a clip, oh, he's in this compilation, they see, who's this weird Dutch guy? And some of them will come over here. So thank you so much, Next Witness. You're clipping us in a good way. Lisbeth, I don't know what they're really. It's a person who is tweeting about this case on the Twitch as well. She is she's pointing out something I missed. Juliana Peres is the one who made all of the plans for Valerie. That's the daughter. Could it be her who used Christine's device that day where all the frozen searches was? Could that have been it? That she said that she was on the phone looking for the frozen thing? That could potentially be Juliana, because why would Christine be looking for tickets for Frozen if it's Juliana who makes all the appointments? Sue can't get out of here fast enough. It's really saying something that Next Witness likes to hang out with here. It's an honor. Well, it's because she's looking for all of those weird clips where I'm saying stupid stuff and losing my mind. If one of the mods are here, can you share the link to Next Witness's channel so more people, if they don't already know and love, they can go and follow?
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide. Sir, can you identify this slide and the significance relating to
No
what you just
significance.
testified to?
No significance.
This is part of a production from I'm sorry, this is a login to Ms. Banfield's, her true name Gmail account from the Banfield residence, also on February 20th, 2023 at 10:58 p.m.
Okay, and is there a timing issue that you're highlighting here?
Well, on the prior slide, I think it was 10:46 p.m. Ms. Magalhães, or at least her phone, was at Lifetime Fitness in Reston, Virginia. Here, 12 minutes later, we have somebody logging into Ms. Banfield's account from the house.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I identify this as.
I say hi to you all the
161,
time.
And I'd move that into evidence.
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
Just not as fancy.
Oh, 161, I'm sorry, no.
Your Honor, I'm going to move back to the back slide so that
Okay,
there's
you go
context
back.
to what.
160 is in evidence.
Sir, was this the slide you were talking about, and this is the timing that you were talking about?
This is the beginning of a sequence of events and timing, yes.
Okay. And This is
I
161,
love
the current
all of my
slide.
mods.
Correct.
And it wasn't up for the
I wanna
jury when
share
you were
it.
explaining it. Can you go over that again quickly?
Sure, this is just a representation of a login to Ms. Banfield's personal email account from the house from the Banfield residence at 10:58 PM.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide, which will be designated or identified as 162. Sir, do you recognize this slide?
I do.
And what was it that you analyzed to arrive at the information that's on this slide?
This is a geolocation artifact from Ms. Magalhães' mobile
The
device.
other mods are just.
Your Honor, I move that in
I
as
can't be bothered.
Defense Exhibit 162.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
62 in evidence?
Can you explain for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury the significant
Heidi
aspects
Pie,
of
this
this?
is next witnesses
And
YouTube
why you
channel.
created this slide?
So on the previous slide where we saw a login to Ms. Banfield's email account from the residence, essentially at the same time at 10:58 PM, it appears Ms. Magalhães was on her way back from the gym, or she was at least mobile. She's no longer at Lifetime Fitness in Reston. She's now just on the surface streets in and around Reston.
Okay, and do you have any sense of the distance to the house?
I think it's about a 15 or 17-minute drive, point to point from Lifetime Fitness in Reston to the Banfield residence in Herndon.
Nice try.
Anything else about this slide?
Nope, it's just her location at the time.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide.
All right.
And is this a slide that you created relating to your digital forensic analysis?
It is.
And Your Honor, I move this in as Commonwealth's or Defense Exhibit 163.
Well, I was faster
ma'am.
than you because I knew you were
Sir,
sleeping.
can you explain for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what the significance of this slide is related?
I can testify. Well, I can't because I'm a virgin, but you can do a lot of good work in a few seconds.
Relating to February 20th, 2023.
Sure. This is data from two records. The top sort of larger font, which is not done for any purpose.
You were on screen earlier. I find well, it was from some political gathering, but we found a picture of you. So we were missing you in chat, but then we saw you were at a political gathering, and we brought it up on screen. And you didn't miss anything in the case.
It's not large for any other purpose or any significant purpose. This was Brendan's. I guess it's a swipe, but here his entry to the Lifetime Fitness in Reston on this evening. So they had him swiping in or arriving at 9:18 and 33 seconds. The lower three lines are from, I believe, a T-Mobile record showing Mr. Banfield's position as T-Mobile recorded it. And it's not precise, however, it does reflect the nearest tower, or the tower that was handling the data to Mr. Banfield's phone at the time of the record. So we see that he swiped into the gym at 9:18 p.m. T-Mobile, again, a service provider record, is going to be in UTC, so we have to do some math. But the third line of the T-Mobile section at 3:59 a.m., that would show, that would actually correspond to February 20th, 2023 at 10:59 p.m. And he was still in the same tower. So the reason 3 towers were shown with a Roger Bacon Drive address is to show the consistency. So again, Mr. Banfield logged into the gym in Reston at 9:18. We see at 9:39, with the conversion of the first line of the T-Mobile records, that their tower at Roger Bacon Drive in Reston, which is close in proximity to Lifetime Fitness, handled his data at the time. We see on the next line at, which would now be 10:18 p.m., he was receiving data from T-Mobile on that same tower. And then the third line, which is 10:59 p.m., he's still receiving data from that same tower. So it's just one set of data points corroborating the other, confirming the other.
And so what would you conclude based upon that slide?
That at 10:59 p.m., Mr. Banfield was still in or at or
Objection
around.
calls for speculation.
It would be his device, not.
Yes, based upon, okay, I think we have to speak in terms of the devices. What can you conclude based on this regarding his device or devices?
That Mr. Banfield's Lifetime Gym swipe card was arrested at 9:18, and that Mr. Banfield's mobile device was in vicinity of Lifetime Fitness through at least 10:59 p.m. all on the evening of the 20th of February.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide. And that will be 164.
Correct.
Sir, can you identify this?
I can.
And was this something that you created?
I did.
And what, if anything, did you use to create this?
Google Maps.
Your Honor, I move this in as Defense Exhibit 164.
Any objection?
No objection.
164.
Sir, what, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what this created slide says and what's the significance of it?
This is just a visual representation of what I was just describing. So the red dot on the left side of the screen is just the location of T-Mobile's tower at on I think Roger Bacon Drive, and we can see where it's fairly close to the Lifetime Fitness gym in Reston.
And is there any indication of where the device is at this time?
Well, on the prior slide, we saw where Mr. Banfield's device was on the evening of the 20th between the 9 and 11 o'clock p.m. hours.
Okay.
This is just showing the tower that the data, what T-Mobile tells us.
Okay. And you created this
Did Lefty send you a picture again since you need your magnifying glass?
to be a complement to what you had done in the previous slide?
Yes, just to visualize it.
Just pins to zoom.
It's just to visualize it.
Your Honor, I'm going to move on to the next slide, which will be identified as Exhibit 165. Now, sir, do you recognize this slide?
I do.
And is this something you created?
It is.
Your Honor, I move this in as Defense Exhibit 165.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
165.
Sir, if you can explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what's the significance as it relates to February 20th,
Oh, yeah.
2023?
Then you need your magnifying.
This is another geolocation point from Ms. Magalhães' mobile device.
And what does it tell us?
So this is an artifact from 11:06 and 50 seconds p.m., so 11:07 p.m. And this is what, so Ms. Magalhães had an Apple iPhone, and one of the things that iPhones do is they create significant location visits for us. So places we go frequently, like home, work, gym, Apple categorizes them as significant locations of visits. Doesn't mean anything for us as users, but on the back end, as a digital forensic examiner, artifacts like this can be informative. So in this case, it tells me this is when she probably walked through the door, and her iPhone says I'm home, basically.
Your Honor, I'm going to switch to the next slide, which will be designated as Exhibit 166. Sir, what is this artifact?
This is a login to a website, a commercial website.
And what's the commercial website?
It's anova.org. It's an ananova.org website.
And what's the significance of having this artifact?
So this is from Ms. Banfield's computer, and I'm aware from the details of the investigation that she worked at Anova.
And is the time significant relating to this investigation into Telegram?
It's related to the investigation. I'm not sure
Oh, I'm sorry.
specifically to Telegram.
What's the significance of this?
Well, again, this is there was significance of this date. There are
3 or 4, maybe the defendant.
events relative to this date. So what I'm trying to do is determine attribution by looking at all the devices and everybody's location to the extent I can figure it out. So this is just another artifact as we're walking through this evening. This is also at 11:07 p.m., closer to 11:08 p.m. Maybe within a minute of Ms. Magalhães, or at least her device, arriving home.
Now, in terms of, you used the term attribution, I think Detective Miller used that term as well. Is that a term of art in the digital forensics world?
It seems to be a goal we're frequently chasing.
Okay, so how would you describe it in kind of plain terms for me and the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Sure, as Detective Miller said, it's tough for us without a video or being there to put any one of us behind the keyboard, so to speak. Who's holding the device? Who's actually manipulating the data? And as he also pointed out, other informative data points can be helpful in providing context and providing corroborative information. Just by way of an example, in this particular case, we have three people. If,
think it's just
or
reaching
in any
right.
case where if we have three people, unsure who's using a device, if two people can be confirmed out of the house, and when activity on a device occurs within the house, by relative easy deduction, we can then use those external data points of confirmation of the two people out of the house to confirm or conclude that the person in the house was responsible for the data. There's not much, it doesn't get much easier than that. That's an oversimplification, but that's a goal.
How crucial is the timestamp of these artifacts with regard to your investigation into these types of investigations?
It can be quite crucial. The amount of time, for example, in this investigation, there are allegations or claims of device removal as part of the scheme to facilitate the scheme. So, is the timing based on the artifacts facilitate that? Is there enough time for a device to be removed from somebody who's active on one and then be used for any purpose by somebody else without them knowing it? Right? I mean, it's one thing if, we take a shower, if it's a 10 or 15 minute gap, that might lend enough time for a device to be removed, used, and put back.
Judge, objection calls for speculation.
All right, I'll just,
Oh, okay. I think we've probably gone where we need to go on that. So I'm going to move on to the next slide.
You gone where?
Here, I'm going to identify it as Defense Exhibit 167.
okay.
Sir, do you recognize that?
I do.
And what's the significance of that artifact in relation to your investigation?
This is a login from the Banfield residence on the same evening of February 20th to the alleged suspect account, the CBRN 920 account that was used to facilitate ultimately the FetLife and then onto the Telegram and the eventual meeting.
Your Honor, I'd identify this and ask for it to be moved into evidence number 167.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
67?
And once the ladies and gentlemen of the jury see that, can you please go over what the significance of this is?
Sure. As I said, this is a login reported by Google to the CBRN 920 Gmail account. So that is the email account that was being used to facilitate or to set up FetLife and then ultimately to the communication which led to the events of the 24th of February in 2023. This was on the evening of February 20th, and the time was 11:08 and 13 seconds, so 11:08 p.m.
And I'm sorry, did you mention the account that was created or that was used?
Yeah, yes, Judge asked and answered.
I just didn't hear, Judge, I'm sorry.
All right.
If it was, that's fine.
I did.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to move on to Exhibit 168.
God.
Oh, sorry. Is there anything additional that relating to your digital forensics?
No, the new theory that I have agreed upon today is Christina was the one who set up the date with Joseph Ryan. They accidentally just came home and found out that he was trying to unalive her and shot him. That's what this guy is trying to prove, that it was Christina who used her devices for the catfishing that isn't a catfish. So whatever he's trying to get in there is that Christina must have been the one who set up the FetLife account, who made these arrangements with all these dudes, and who set it up so Joseph Ryan would come that day and bang her while everyone was away from the house. And luckily for them, the nanny was just sitting outside when he arrived, called the husband, who was luckily not at work as he was supposed to be, but at a McDonald's because he had to take a dump, and then came rushing back just as he was about to kill her. And they unalived her. This is what I am getting to today.
Forensic analysis on 167 that you can explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
There is, I mean, the timing to me was significant on this particular artifact, but we'd have to
Thank you.
point it out, go back to the slide prior,
Okay.
if
Your Honor,
that's possible.
If I may, I'm going to go back to this
Fine.
slide prior.
I know.
Your Honor, can we publish that to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Judge, I don't believe it's been admitted.
Excuse me?
I don't believe it's been admitted.
I thought this was the one prior.
It is.
No, that's
He didn't.
166.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong way, I think.
My big fingers.
No, you had it. No, going backwards, sorry. This one. No, forward
Sorry.
one.
Yeah, you go forward one.
Pressing too hard.
All right, stop.
Okay, sorry. You were saying to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
They know.
Is this one in?
We can hear you.
166 is not in evidence.
oh, Your Honor, move it in as,
166, no objection.
Okay, there we go. Now they can look at it.
okay, now we have context in terms of what you're saying. I apologize. Please explain for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury the significance of this, and then hopefully I'll move forward to the other one so you can talk about that as well.
Right. So this was, again, from Ms. Banfield's laptop, the Lenovo laptop. And this is an Innova.org website, a VPN. So that's a remote access to the Innova website where she worked. And this was on the evening of the 20th at 11:07. And this ties into what we were talking about earlier, the sequencing and the window. So the time of this particular access was 11:07 and 49 seconds. I know I've been rounding up and down and saying 11:07, 11:08, but this one's important to go granular. So we have this one at 11:07 and 49 seconds, and now if you could, sorry, jump to the next one. So this activity, which is a login to the suspect email account, was 23 seconds later, 24?
And this is identified as 167?
It's in evidence.
Yes.
167 is in.
I just wanted to say for the record.
Okay.
Yeah, so 24 seconds later, so that's the window we're talking about here. For me as an investigator with the facts consistent with this case, we've gone from a activity on the laptop that is unique to one person. In this case, to my understanding,
Objection calls for speculation.
All right, I'll sustain.
Can you explain it in a different way?
we've gone from unrelated activity related activity on the laptop unrelated to the scheme.
No, he hasn't taken the stand. We have wasted 3 hours listening to a guy talking about someone could be using their device, and it could be someone else. There's no way to know it. And right now I'm considering doing the same as yesterday, just skipping the afternoon, because it's going to be another 4 hours of the same questions. Unless he takes the stand, there's no reason to watch it.
24 seconds later to something central to the scheme. So we've gone from an Innova website to the suspect Gmail account in a 24-second
I
window.
answered you as well. You could say thank
And
you.
just so
Thank you as
we're
well.
clear, the Innova website was, what device was that on?
Ms. Banfield's laptop.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide. This will be Defense Exhibit 168?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it should be now.
Sir, what is this artifact?
This is a login or usage of the Telegram app on Miss Banfield's laptop computer.
Okay. And is there anything significant about the start time and end time, I guess?
The start time is of most significance here at this stage of our chronology. It's at 11:09 and 12 seconds p.m.
Your Honor, I'd move that in.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
168.
I apologize. Mr. Lidsky, can you explain that to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to give them context?
Sure. This is the Telegram app in use on Miss Banfield's laptop at on 2/20/23 at 11:09 and 12 seconds p.m. So now 59 seconds after the suspect Gmail account was in use, also from a Windows device at the residence.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide.
No, I'll catch you up
Your Honor,
on
may I
those
just
break.
consult with counsel?
Right.
Are you asking?
They're human. That's why I say the law doesn't matter.
Well, we just tell you, we haven't met so far, but we put the whole thing in. Yeah, we put the whole thing in. We put the whole thing in, so.
No, and he keeps going back to it, and he keeps saying,
Thank you.
Extracted
I
from,
can't
Nine.
prove
Any
anything.
objection?
just confirming with counsel that this is extracted from our previously
Your
admitted
previous
exhibit
exhibit.
of all of
Okay.
the messages. No
All right, so
objection.
169 evidence.
Thank you. Sir, what is this?
These are the Telegram messages between the account purported to be used by Miss Banfield and Mr. Ryan.
And does that coincide with what we previously saw?
Yeah, these are just a subsection of the messages exchanged on these two accounts. This relates to the time period that we're reviewing currently. So this is February 20th, 23, beginning, the first blue bubble on the left is at 11:17 p.m., and then 11:18 p.m. for the green, and then later at 11:18 p.m. for the next blue.
Your Honor, I'm going to move on to the next slide.
All right.
I believe that'll be identified as Exhibit 170.
Okay.
Sir, do you see that on your screen?
I do.
And, excuse me, what's the significance of this
This is live, Leslie.
item?
These are FetLife messages from the night of February 20th, 2023.
And, Your Honor, I move these in as the Defense Exhibit 170.
Any objection?
Again, same judge, I believe we've got
Okay.
the entire document in already.
All right, 170.
Now,
He's back on the stand because when he was on the stand first, he hadn't laid foundation for the report he was going to testify about because this defense attorney is an absolute a-hole. So he brought the guy back to lay foundation for it, and he didn't get what he wanted. And now this guy is sitting there. Oh, my pause game is great. It looks like someone is. It looks like his O face, but the only thing they have been trying to prove for 3 hours now is that it must have been Christine who used the phone, and every time he has to say, "But I can't prove it was her."
sir, can you
Yeah,
explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the
I explain
jury
face a little
what
bit.
it is as a
Well,
digital forensic examiner you're looking at in the context of your investigation of February 20th?
Sure. Well, you know, Again, on this particular date, we have some key events on this particular, at this particular time. We've got key device usage or potential attribution and location information for the three people central to the investigation at this point in time. That's Ms. Banfield, Ms. Magalhães, and Mr. Banfield. This is a subset of the FetLife records that we've been talking about. This is particularly for this evening at this point in time, and these are only the outgoing messages from the account purported to be used by Ms. Banfield. So these, if the messages don't make sense, it's because you're not seeing the entire conversation here. We're just looking at the outbound responses from.
Seal, we can arrange something. Give me some example of you want to do. I don't have them as it isn't something I do with my husband. Don't share my pictures. I prefer to stay private and low key.
From the account in question.
Do you have Telegram? You can add me there. Anastasia 920.
Relative to this discussion.
And the name at the top there, what's the significance of that?
So one of the messages this evening was about starting, and this is in the larger, for what I analyze in the larger FetLife communication. We saw where Telegram was installed in the prior deck, I think on the 19th. Now we're seeing where we start to transition from FetLife to Telegram by the person using this account.
Mr. Carroll, is this a good time to take a break then?
Yes, yes.
All right, let's go and take our lunch break at this.
So he's not going to take the stand today because this guy is not going to be done. This guy is going to keep going on for probably another hour or two and then cross-examination. There's also an expert lined up. So we are not going to get to Mr. Banfield today. I'm sorry, all. This is absolutely insane. I'm going to do an unboxing video later instead for all my Christmas birthday presents, and then we're just gonna summarize what's gonna be the same shit over and 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 over again, to not waste my entire Friday night listening to an absolute moron. We're already in it, can't give it up now. Well, I did it yesterday. I took the afternoon off, and then I just summarized the three witnesses. Objection, sustained, objection, sustained, objection, sustained, objection, sustained, objection, sustained. So, yeah. So, it's 7 o'clock now. I'll be back around 8, and we're gonna unbox. And I might keep it in the corner, and while I show my shit, and if anything interesting happens, we can look at it. But nothing interesting is gonna happen in this case so far. Maybe the expert is gonna come in and tell us that he can place the phone in her hand doing all of this. He can't. Maybe the expert can come in and place her behind the PC. He can't. All of this is a big old effing waste of time. It was supposed to have been a 4-week trial, but the state rested within 5 days. Then normally the defense would go 1-2 days. This guy is determined to drag it into next week. I had to just shut it off for 30 minutes. Anything happened? Absolutely nothing has happened. It's the same, and the same. So I'm going to set up an afternoon stream, but when you come back, it will be us unpacking all of the wonderful gifts I've gotten from J7, Holly Mac, Danny C, Sweet, Dodo and Panilla, Dave and Mess. I'm so glad that you're not blocked anymore. I'm so sorry, but it's YouTube. That's all I can say. Kissimar came back today. Cookie Corellian came back, and you came back. I'm just hoping that Island will come back as well. Yeah, we just want to hear the verdict now. That's all we want to hear. It's the worst trial for a while, Baker. It's not interesting. It's draining. See you later, and thank you. Yeah, let's do an unboxing video instead. But I'll be back in roughly an hour, and we can see what people have sent to me. And again, we'll just put the trial down in the corner, and if anything pops up, we can bring it up and listen to it. Let's do it like that, because this is probably the worst defense I have ever seen put on. So let's do that one. See you in about an hour. Beach Girl, we like hanging out with you as well. That's why we're coming back for a unboxing video.
I'm Jimmy. How y'all doing?
I know English is your second language, but you don't word
It's
your
my
questions
third,
carefully.
but I'm still better at it than you. You are
The most important people in this case that everybody seems to have forgotten in this room is the jury. So we're going to take a 15-minute break and both sides take a pregnant pause and think